Goddamn.
Indeed, bro. Indeed. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NHP Unscripted. This is episode 234. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us here today, like I said, for another edition of NHP Unscripted. And yes, thank you guys for joining us again here on another Monday night following Monday Night Raw. What did you guys think of Monday Night Raw, man? And yeah, we got a week's worth of TV to get into, man, which actually there's today quite a bit of Smackdown topics to
Yeah.
touch on, as we will get into that as the show progresses. But how's everybody doing, man, on your Monday night on the Monday. I don't know if they have a name for it, but the Monday after the Super Bowl. How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? And thank you guys for joining us again, as always. If this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted. And every Friday, we are on here at 4 p.m. Central with the news, man. If you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, that is episode 252. You guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Drew McIntyre frustrated with his WrestleMania plans and everything surrounding, I guess, coming out of the Royal Rumble, as well as the AEW fan outrage over the Grand Slam Australia debacle. So if you guys did miss that, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here. Like I said, live every Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news, man. If you guys have not got a chance to pick up some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this beautiful piece of redesigned, remastered, beautiful piece of merchandise that you see on your very screen. You guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Links in the top description of this very video, man. So, if you guys have not got a chance to pick up the very best and the most beautiful piece of merchandise in all the IWC, you guys can now cop this live at bonfire.com. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Been pretty normal lately. Just chilling, waiting for Elimination Chamber. I guess I could say I'm waiting for Revolution. I guess you could tag that along in there. But overall, waiting for Chamber and waiting to see how Mania shapes up, man. But other than that, I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing? In a live chat. How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Nothing too much going on. Nothing too much going on, bro. But nothing too much. So, real quick, I know we talked about doing a gaming this Wednesday. However, the gaming will have to be postponed. I completely forgot I have some stuff to do on Wednesday, the next couple Wednesdays actually. But I genuinely completely forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. So there will be no gaming. We are working on finding a new date.
Mm,
We are working on finding a new date for that. So whenever we figure that out, we will be doing the tomb for you guys. But regardless, I think it's going to be a while till we get our next zombies map anyway. So yeah, but
Actually, it might not, but
really,
it might not. It might be at the start of, I guess, season 3. How they go about it. It might be at the start of that. There might be a map damn near every season this year,
that's how it
which is
should
crazy.
be. Yeah,
So it
yeah.
should be, but I hope so at least.
Well, we will see, but yes, we are working on getting a new date for that. So as soon as we got the details on that, we will let you guys know, man. So, yeah, how's everybody doing, man? How's everybody's Super Bowl Sunday? Hope you guys enjoyed it and stayed safe. Um,
Hope
no
you guys weren't in
Chiefs.
Philly.
No, yeah, what the fuck, man?
You seen the
Philadelphia.
video?
Yes,
You seen the video of them taking the fucking street sign or the stoplight down?
I did. I also seen a video where they were burning a stuffed Kermit in the middle of the street. They were holding it up and burning it at the same time. So I don't. I don't know what the I don't know. They,
They're
they were
going crazy.
yes, they were acting as if the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. So I don't know what happened there. For the first time ever, I cared more about the halftime show than the actual game itself. Which, to be honest, I haven't really dabbled too much into football since I was in like middle school, but good lord, that halftime show was spectacular. It was so simple yet so effective, and it was I love the message behind it, and it was fucking great, man. It was absolutely fantastic. Kendrick is an absolute master at the just what he
Symbolism.
does. Yeah, symbolisms, the teasing of Not Like Us throughout um the whole performance. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, pretty fucking dope. And good lord, Not Like Us, bro. Not Like
Goated.
Us.
Best song, bro. 2024. Easy. Goated.
Yes. Yes. I know a lot of people were upset because he did not play his hits, but apparently his manager said something about they wanted to more so capitalize on the 2024 he had, and I actually completely agree with that. Now, would would I love to have seen some To Pimp a Butterfly or GKMC in there? Absolutely, but at the end of the day, bro, the GNX songs he played are fucking certified bangers, so I don't really
Incredible.
I don't really understand that. And then of course you have the people that maybe wanted to see other things on their television screen for a halftime show and not
God.
a male fully clothed on their screen. So you had you can hear a lot of that discourse online. So you know people are always going to find their things to complain about. But no, it was a historic night for hip hop. And what did he say, man? He said the revolution is televised. You chose the right time, but the wrong guy.
Yeet.
Fucking fire, bro. Absolutely fire.
Real
I
shit.
love the halftime show, man. What did you think about it?
Oh, I thought that show was incredible, man. The quality that he did, the symbolism of everything in it, the formation, the dancers, Samuel L. Jackson, and just the songs he picked, I thought were really great. And I do get doing the GNX more 2024 songs, and I love that. And I thought it was incredible. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, fire, bro. Absolutely fire. But yeah, so that was that. That was that. So with this, the 1 year, although the 1 year, man. Usually, you know, usually, I feel like everybody else, I feel like everybody else is more worried about the halftime show. But this year, I was one of those people that were worried about the
Same.
halftime show. But yeah, but no, I thought it was great, man. I thought it was fucking great.
I thought it was incredible.
But also too, I like the use of an artist that was hot. I feel like they always go
Yeah,
with like an
it's not just.
older name, you know.
Yeah,
I f-
I like that they went someone that had momentum.
yeah, absolutely. It's I like that a lot. I always hate a lot of times with the Super Bowl they choose, and don't get me wrong, these artists are great artists, but that they choose, but I feel a lot of times with the Super Bowl they choose people that you know are, of course, they're big names, so I do understand that, but like they choose people
Just
that
like,
you know their prime is behind them, and that's not to say they're
yeah,
bad now, but they always just choose older names. But yeah, so I love, yes, like you said, I love coming over into wrestling. I love the use of pushing somebody who has momentum on their side.
look at
Um
that.
so speaking of momentum, or speaking of lack of momentum, cue the Death Riders wah, wah,
Mm,
intro to their theme song, AEW Dynamite. Oh, here we are.
Ride of Death. That is AEW Dynamite.
Why did
The whole
they add
story.
that to the beginning of their song? I mean, that just
Oh,
makes me
Lord.
sad. I mean, I feel the guitar riff is just so sick. And then they
Oh,
add this.
you know, a Dynamite element that I really have noticed lately is that, dude, People really didn't like the intro to Dynamite, and Tony Khan deadass just cut the intro to Dynamite, and they just don't do that intro no more.
Yeah,
It's
it's just a
crazy
cold
work.
open now. He said, "You
They
guys don't
own
like the song I choose. Now you get no intro."
Now you get no show intro. They just don't have an intro. Which I do like the idea of the cold open, but like, damn, the reason for it is so just childish.
It is. Um, Speaking of childish, it looks like the child himself, Mr. Tony Khan, woke up on the right side of the bed today. I don't.
I know.
I guess he woke up in a good mood. Um,
Guess he
yeah.
saw the heat Triple H was getting for those releases. Well, let me slide mine in right now, so there ain't no heat on my side.
Which
Fuck, he should do
there,
more.
I was gonna say that there never would have been, because all people were asking for was for these guys to be let go. But Tony Khan had to, I guess, wait for some reason. But he let people go, man. Miro is gone. Malachi's contract came up, so he
Yeah,
kind of
that
just
one
ties
just.
in. But he is officially gone today, and fucking Ricky Starks does no longer have to wait till the summer. And of course, now the smear campaigns start, and
Oh,
everybody's
that,
have you been seeing all the, well, these guys buried themselves and they didn't
oh,
want to do
Malachi refused
business.
to work. Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I just saw a tweet before we went live. It was each one of their names and just a lie about them. They did the Ricky Starks lie of him refusing creative, the
Yes.
Malachi Black lie of him refusing to let people go over, and they did some random Miro lie. I was like, dude, these have literally been disproven like months or
Yes,
years ago.
they all have. They all have been disproven, and but they're still gonna. I've been seeing them all day, and people were, listing just Ricky denied creative, and Malachi Black didn't want to put anybody over, even though that's all he did in his entire run was fucking let other people beat him and his group. And then the whole Miro didn't want to work with anybody. Um, Honestly, bro, Miro's situation's a bit of both of their fault, because
Yeah.
in my honest opinion, because Tony, it was Tony's fault, because Tony he had a guy in Miro who a lot of people loved in 2021, including myself, as the Redeemer, and
Oh,
everybody loved the
incredible.
Redeemer. It was an amazing work. And going forward, every feud he pitched to him, he lost. And could Miro have been a team player or done best for the company? He could have, but he was protecting his character. Some people could
Yeah.
blame him for that. Some people could see eye to eye with him. I fucking see eye to eye with him. But again, I also do understand why, I could see, I mean, I guess I could sort of see where Tony can look at that and think you don't care about the company, you care about yourself. But I could also see where Miro's coming from, because he wants to protect his character, and he's not gonna just mindlessly let Tony Khan bury everything he created. So I do understand both sides.
It's a mix of like there's a difference between being a team player and just taking L's 24/7 and you just never have momentum. It gets to a point
Yeah.
where you got to say like, okay, this is too much. And I think Miro got to that point where he was like, okay, I kind of got to win something over here or else I have nothing. And it cost him, man.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Was a little too bright there. Yes. But yeah, no Ray Phoenix. So no Ray Phoenix. He is not free. He is not a free man. He will not be joining Penta, Zero M, in WWE anytime soon. Or at least, if we're looking at Ray Phoenix, we're looking at Ray Phoenix for SummerSlam in New Jersey. Or possibly even past that. We could probably be seeing Ray Phoenix at Clash in Paris.
We
Um,
could. You never
although,
know.
because if I believe they say it was about 10 months, so I'm assuming it's going to be around that time. But we'll just have to wait and
Mhm.
see on that. But yes, I guess he woke up on the right side of the bed, and like I said, of course, now everybody wants to come out and say these guys were scrubs, and Tony Khan finally got him out, even though he kept him. But nonetheless, they're gone. I'm happy for them. They're all gonna do great. I know they're all gonna do great. If Ricky's 100% free, no non-compete, I guarantee you we see him at NXT Vengeance Day. I think he's gonna go to NXT first. Aleister Black, they've already sort of, I mean, you know, if you think that, you know, the whole dark art thing, you know, leads back to him, then you can honestly say they possibly could be even planting seeds for him already. But regardless, I mean, we know he's going at WWE,
You
bro.
know,
As for Miro,
man,
he's in a tough spot because
is
he has sat for so long. There is no momentum behind anything he has going. And I honestly, wholeheartedly don't really see him slotting back into WWE right now. And I honestly think it would be a little stupid of WWE just to sign, you know, everybody,
yeah,
in my honest opinion. But I will say, I think he would do. I think he would do great in TNA, and I also think he would do phenomenal in Japan. It doesn't matter what promotion. He could go to any fucking promotion. Look at Omos, right? Omos was a big guy, right? Miro's a big guy.
him.
They love, over in Japan, they love,
Those big tough guys, they love them.
yes, they do. They love guys with a lot of, you know, bulk on them. And Miro, I think Miro would do great over in Japan. But now I'm happy for a man, and I think that I think that he would do great over there. But yeah, I honestly don't really see him slotting in anywhere in WWE, to be 100% honest with you, man. I also love how Tony waited till after the Rumble to do this.
Oh, you know he did. He was like, okay, well, no Rumble surprises for you. Now figure it out from here.
Yeah, because that shit would have been stupid lit if Malachi Black or Aleister Black popped back up in the Royal Rumble, along with Ricky Starks. But no, I think those two are headed over to WWE, man. And as for Miro, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. But regardless, I know all of them are gonna be fine. But WWE also got some more releases in too, man. A lot of head scratching names in that in that category, man. A lot of head scratching names in that category. You look at the releases. We'll give you the official list on Friday, even though I might be able to give you guys all of them off the dome. But Gallows and Anderson, AOP and Ellering got released. Blair Davenport, Giovanni Vinci, Sonya Deville. I want to say that was all of them.
There was I think there might have been more.
I want to say, yeah, but those are the main ones. Two tag teams. Two tag teams are gone.
Literally.
Sean, you know, I know he's doing the whole Fraxium is fine storyline, and I really hope they don't break up at this point, man. But I honestly think they won't, because I feel like they know they found something really cool in those two. So
people really love Fraxium.
Yeah, they're an exciting fucking tag team to watch, man. So,
Cool shit.
but as for AOP, man, and Gallows and Anderson, it's sad to see how much they didn't do in WWE, because, you know, when they both came back, it seemed like this was going to be the right time, right? They were finally in the right time at the right place. And I thought they were going to be great for the tag team division. I thought Gallows and Anderson were going to be great, and I thought AOP were going to be fucking monsters for the tag team division, and they didn't end up doing anything with any of them, and it sucks, and it really sucks to see. Blair Davenport is another one, dude. We just heard her name in the news not too long ago. Yeah. Blair Davenport's going to be a main focus on Friday Night SmackDown, moving to 3 hours. And we heard she was going to be a part of the group with Candice and Nia, which, what is even that? But, I mean, okay, at least she's getting TV time. And then they didn't even end up giving her that. So
Makes sense, dude.
It sucks to see her talent wasted. And when you speak about talent getting wasted, I think the one of the worst ones in all this was Giovanni Vinci, which this is something we predicted as soon as Imperium broke up. I was on here that Monday that they broke up, And I literally uttered the words to you guys. I don't see him doing much in this company before they inevitably release him. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but evidently something happened, and they
Had
just,
to.
yeah, they just gave up on him, I guess. But how'd you feel about the WWE side of releases?
Thought they were shocking. I mean, I get it to a point where, you don't want to hoard talent. You don't want to do that type of shit. You want to save people that you really aren't using or you don't see anything in, I guess. But they chose some ones I probably wouldn't have chose. AOP is a crazy decision to me. You need tag teams, especially on SmackDown. And you wait, what brand were they on? I don't
Raw.
even fucking remember. Okay, Raw. Good lord, that's how fucking little we've seen of them. Um, you always need a tag teams. Raw, SmackDown, either, and you get rid of a great a tag team that has a cool factor that people like that can move in the ring. You just release them. That's crazy to me, man. I was gonna Blair Davenport is a crazy one to me. I don't know. If you have plans with her, then you don't. Then you just release her. I thought that was just kind of you got this mid card women's division now, and what are you gonna do? Just start releasing people that could easily slot into that division. That's not really smart moves for me. At this point, you really shouldn't have created those things in the first place. But hey, I was saying that in the first place. But and Gallows and Anderson, that one was just kind of sad. I was like, damn, because I think
Yeah.
Carl Anderson is still injured,
Yeah, yeah.
if I do believe correctly. So that's kind of crazy for them to do, to be honest. And AJ's back. You had something there you could have done. You could always the main roster can always use more tag teams. I think they were down in NXT
Hmm.
before they got injured, but AJ's back. You could have put them together. You could have done all this and all that, and you don't do nothing. I think I get it, and it's good that they are just, they shave people when they feel like they need to, but the people they chose this time was just a little head scratching for me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of, I mean, everybody on this list, I'm sure is going to be fine. I'm sure everybody
Yeah.
on the list is going to be fine. It's just, yeah, WWE, they really did choose some interesting names. They really did choose some interesting names this time around. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, yeah, like you said, people like you, that could have been in the tag division, people that could have been in that mid-card women's scene, people that could have
Hmm.
been solid mid-carders like Giovanni Vinci. It's, it is frustrating, and it is head scratching, but WWE, um, WWE has so much talent as it is. Again, you don't want to overload your roster, and it is a good thing, in a sense. Not that they lost their job, but that they're actually going to be able to get to do meaningful work now. Because if you could say one thing about anybody and everybody on the list, everybody was doing meaningless work.
Nothing.
Everybody
Yeah.
was, yeah, everybody was, a jobber or a background player or not on TV or, so I'm happy for a lot of these people that they are going to actually get an opportunity to do meaningful work. But when you speak of opportunity, it does suck that a lot of these people on this list didn't really get a fair one in
Yeah.
WWE.
No.
Um, but no, I'm happy. I'm happy for most of these people that got released from WWE and AEW, because now, like I said, they get to go on and do meaningful work. And then you got to
Hmm.
think too with WWE, if they are going to be bringing a lot of people up from NXT, they're going to
Hmm.
have to clear space on that roster. They're going to have to clear space on that roster, and they know that they constantly have talent coming in, and unfortunately with that, a lot of talent has to, eventually go away. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Dynamite. Dynamite this week from Atlanta, I'll say it was a lot better than we're used to. It was a hell of a
It
lot
was.
better than we're used to. It was not if I can remember the episode of Dynamite before this episode of Dynamite from Atlanta, it was oh lord, it was something. It was
It
something,
was
man. But
just. It was fucking miserable. But this week, or the week we're covering like you said, it was better than it's usually been, which was nice.
it was. It was, man. Um the show started off. with a brawl between the Death Riders and Rated R FTR and Switchblade. So the show opened up with a brawl. Cope, as the Death Riders were running away, Cope grabs the mic and he challenges Moxley to Revolution because Moxley did not answer his previous challenge. Mox walks back up to the timekeeper's area, grabs the mic, and he says, "You deserve nothing, so it's a no." Switchblade then grabs the mic. He challenges Jon Moxley to breathe with the Switchblade, and he is going to fail while he chokes and drowns in a pool of his own blood. He then challenges Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli to a Brisbane brawl against Switchblade himself and Adam Cope for Grand Slam Australia. So, it looks like that is your, maybe might be your main event for Grand Slam in Brisbane. I'll say this. It's a lot better and it's a lot more intriguing at this point than just Switchblade versus Moxley, especially with Copeland already throwing out the challenge. It would have been completely weird to just throw a Switchblade match in there. And that pains me to say, because Switchblade and Jon Moxley should easily be a main event match on this card, no problem. And it is not in that... Nobody cares to see that as a main event because Switchblade is not portrayed as a main eventer. He is portrayed as some sort of, I guess, upper mid-carder that when Tony Khan wants to use him, he, slots him in there and then he drags the rug right out from under him.
Every time, man. Every time. But I think you are right in saying it is better than just a straight up Jay White and Mox match because we all know what would happen. He'd lose. Cope's gonna lose, and it's just gonna continue on. And I think this is the better way of doing this, man. And it is nice hearing the Jay White promo that isn't just a million catchphrases and whatnot.
Yeah,
he was angry, he had fire in it, and I was like, wow, look what happens when you give him energy and momentum and a mic. Look what you can do.
Yeah, it was great. It's great, and it it sucks that he's in his current form in AEW.
Oh.
It does. Because again, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, man,
You've been demon.
I'm saying to myself, this tag match, if you really think about this logically, man, it does sound a hell of a lot better than just Jay White versus Jon Moxley. And then I thought about how much that hurt me to say that because again, when Jay White came here, I guess was under the hope that he would be a main event guy and he would be treated like a main event guy. And, Jay White versus Jon Moxley, again, on any night is a main event. In AEW, it's not because they don't treat Jay White like a main eventer. So that sucks. But regardless, I think they did go with the better, more intriguing option here.
I think they did. I think they overall did.
Even though I could see Yuta and Pac getting involved in this anyway, so I'm not sure why they didn't make this Switchblade and Rated FTR versus the Death Riders in just a tornado 8-man match. I think that would have been nice too. Because like I said, I do see them getting involved anyway. So maybe it would have been nicer just to add them, but maybe not. But either way, I think they went with the better option if you're looking at the tag match over just Mox versus Switchblade at this point. So, yeah.
100%. Oh, dude, I just realized about AEW. The Blood and Guts match this year is probably going to be some random Death Rider versus AEW people fucking
What was
match.
it last year?
It was
Elite,
Elite,
AEW, yeah.
Oh, so now we're going to get... It's going to be the same thing, but instead of the Elite, it's going to be Death Riders. Good Lord.
Maybe Death Riders versus Hurt Business?
That would be nice, but I don't think I don't think Tony Khan got it like that, so I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. And that's who even knows if the Death Riders are maybe it's the Elite versus the Don Callis family. I could see something like that too.
I could see some shit like that. I feel like this year it's just gonna be another one of those years where it's just, oh, okay, that's blood and guts.
Yeah. Yeah. So which, the match always turns out fantastic. It's just
Mhm.
the story into it just lacks so hard.
Always, dude. It always does.
Okay. The next thing on the show. So that was your opening segment. It was a hot open to the show. It was a nice open. Got the crowd going. So the next thing on the show was Will Ospreay versus a mystery member of the Don Callis family.
Hmm.
A lot of people were thinking it was going to be Trent. A lot of people were thinking Trent is going to come back, right, and be a part of his old family or whatever. Which, if he does, I'm seriously going to question the mindset behind that, because how does Don Callis retain Trent and I guess speak to Trent during his absence, but in kayfabe, he didn't speak to Will Hobbs and he didn't give a shit to renew him with the Don Callis family. So I'm going to
Yeah.
question that. If Trent does come back with the Don Callis family, I'm going to question that, but I'll refrain my judgment for now.
Okay.
But this was even better. This was an even better member of the Don Callis family. Don Callis comes to the stage and he announces the Ospreay Killer, Mark Davis. The Ospreay Killer, Mark Davis.
I like the person they chose. I was actually kind of shocked by that. I didn't think they'd go with that. I thought that was a cool choice, but the Osprey Killer, I don't think you needed to add that part in there. You kind of setting them. You're throwing a fucking child in the deep end at that point. It was a good choice. They chose a good one for this because they their story in there. Look at that. But man, that wording just killed it.
The Ospreay Killer. Then Don Callis proceeded to sit down and make this whole thing make absolutely no sense. Which, could you have added Mark Davis to the group and had it make sense? Sure, you could have.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Fletcher's in the group, so that immediately right there makes sense because he has ties back to Kyle Fletcher. He sits down on commentary. He says he's had Mark Davis under contract for 2 years.
Wait. Dude, I deadass never caught that part. He said that?
So, when Mark Davis originally came back, why were you trying to get him to join the Don Callis family? Why didn't you just tell him right then and there, look, motherfucker, you don't have a choice. I've had you guys under contract for 2 years. And then he says he's had him under contract for 2 years. Davis had a choice to work for me or sit at home.
Or Tony Khan?
I was going to say, I think Tony Khan's shaping Don Callis into a character that resembles himself.
I don't know, he had a Tony Khan character on TV.
So then why was Mark Davis showing up when he came back and wasn't with the Don Callis family?
Why was he never with the Don Callis family? Like, what? Would
Make that make sense, bro.
You're literally just saying shit. Why the hell would you have that man say 2 years? Like, what?
2 fucking years.
Okay, he was facing his best friend against you and your group when you apparently had him signed. Great work, Tony. You're just doing a great job with continuity. What is what is Will Washington doing? Is this not his job to make sure this doesn't happen?
I guess they're too busy listening to Jim Cornette. I guess I don't know. I don't know. And again, there was so many ways to make sense out of Mark Davis joining the Don Callis family. Like, I don't fucking know. Maybe have him turn on Will Ospreay or something like that, and end up siding with Kyle Fletcher in the end of this to reform Aussie Open in the Don Callis family, which is that ship has sailed because you've really tried to beat it into your audience that Kyle Fletcher is a single superstar.
Hmm.
So what do you are you going to get Aussie Open back together now after you done did all that with Kyle Fletcher?
That's just the most. Yeah, he don't gotta like that. We gotta move him back to the tag. Like, dude, first of all, he is, and you should do that because that's how it is. But way to fucking do someone horribly.
So again, and okay, and the other thing,
Yep.
out of anybody on this fucking planet to be an Osprey killer, you
I
coin
don't think
Mark Davis, which I love Davis,
he's
but the
good.
Osprey killer,
You got Kenny, you got Bobby Lashley in there, and that's your Osprey killer, Mark Davis.
uh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, right.
uh,
There you go. I guess.
okay, all right. I don't know what that was about, but so yeah, again, Don Callis again coins Mark Davis of all people, the Osprey killer, to then come out on commentary and make no fucking sense out of any of this.
Yeah, that
So
is the most nonsensical shit ever.
yeah, and Osprey defeated Davis with a hidden blade. Afterwards, Kenny Omega came out and they hyped up the Grand Slam Australia match, and they're talking to Mark Davis like he was held against his will to do this match. They're like, Davis, if you need someone to talk to, there is help. Like,
Like, what?
dude, he
What?
he was just going against the Don Callis family. Why are you trying to sit here now and tell me that they're forcing him to do anything when he was
It's
just on television going against them a couple months ago?
Tony Khan, man, just can't tell a consistent story to save his life at this point.
Out of all the ways you could have made sense out of that, you could have
Dude,
you could have had Mark Davis come back, reform Aussie Open because again, Kyle Fletcher Kyle Fletcher is not going to last as a singles in AEW. They don't know
he's
how
not.
to they can fucking barely book they can barely book actual main eventers
They
consistently.
they
Um
can't book Adam Cole consistently. Do they think they could fucking book Kyle Fletcher consistently?
they're fucking up MJF right now.
Literally, dude. Fucking John Moxley, Jay White, they can't book fucking top guys right.
Kyle Fletcher does not stand a chance. I'm sorry. So
No.
again, at this stage of the game, it would make no sense to try to form Aussie Open back together now. But back when, Kyle Fletcher just turned on Will Ospreay, you could have brought Mark Davis back and perfectly had the tag team of Aussie Open in the Don Callis family. And then guess what? You're showing Brisbane, Australia. You could have had Aussie Open versus Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Again,
Look at that.
Fletcher and Takeshita isn't a bad team, but you could have got both of the guy. You could have got the Aussie team on the Aussie show.
Mhm.
That could have worked, but what do we know? We're just we're just podcasters, right? Why would anybody
Oh
listen?
yeah.
Why would anybody listen to us? I don't remember saying anybody had to listen to us. I remember giving my opinion, and that was that. But all right,
No, exactly. We're just podcasters. No one has to listen to us. All we know is complain.
yeah,
The whole 9 yards, dude. We're clickbaiters. The gold classic one from us. The old
we are.
clickbaiters. So, you know how it goes.
Yeah, I do. I do know how it goes, man. But so that was that. Osprey and Davis was a good match, and the promo after was fine. Again, minus the them acting like Mark Davis had no choice here. I mean, uh,
Like, dude, he's I guess he's contracted to face you for some reason, even though he wasn't. But he's not in AA. Like, dude, what are you talking to him like that for? If you need help, man, we're here for it, bro. What are you talking about?
Whatever. But the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
The Hurt Syndicate, they come out here and they give props to Private Party. Interesting. And
Very nice.
they say they have to make this quick so they can head to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. But they're coming for every champion in AEW. The Guns then come out. I know they were listening to Many Men on their little video package, but they did not come out to Many Men. They came out to their Bullet Club Gold song, which actually isn't a bad song. I actually like the Bullet Club Gold song.
Yeah, fuck it. It fits like the vibe of that entrance, so it's not bad.
MVP, the Guns come out there and they go face to face with the Hurt Business. They ask all the Gold members to throw their guns up. And yeah, it's horror. I also don't like the Bullet Club Gold fans being referred to as Gold members.
That would fit for a group that isn't Bullet Club. I don't know why the Bullet Club theme over here is gold. It's not like the tough and gritty Bullet Club theme, I would think. I would think gold members is like more. I think of a guy, I picture a guy like MJF. I hear the phrase gold members, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not for Bullet Club.
Yeah, I get that. They come out there and they challenge them to get their hands on a tag team championship match. They said that the Hurt Syndicate have dominated in AEW, but it's only because they were gone. MVP says he loves doing business and he will give them their shot next week. And I'm doing it out of the immense amount of respect I have for your father. They call, as they go to leave, MVP calls them ass boys. And the Guns look pretty upset, man. So that was that. And we are getting this match not on the pay-per-view, so to speak. That was AEW Grand Slam. We're getting this on Dynamite next week. So, way to blow through that. Why don't you do it at Revolution?
Who fucking knows, dude? Maybe something will happen during that match where he doesn't get a real ending, and maybe we do get it at a Revolution. Who fucking knows at this goddamn point? But I like what they did here. I'm starting to like the Guns. I like what they did there, and as I'm starting to like them, Tony Khan blows his load, and we very well might get it done already, man. But we'll see how it goes. They might find a way to, I forgot the word, man. But make sure this story keeps going, and maybe they find a way. It's Tony Khan. Maybe someone loses it in some shit, but I have no fucking clue, man. But I like the way the Guns were. I like the way they looked. That is fresh, them being back. It's fresh to just have two tag teams cut a promo on each other and announce shit. That's always nice to have again. And overall, I like what they did there. I just really hope they find a way to continue this and not just blow the load this week.
Very true, man. Very true. So, so that we will have to wait and see on, and see what happens there with the Guns and whatnot. But hopefully everything goes okay, and maybe they can do something in this feud to where they're able to extend it, maybe get an actual feud out of it and not just a match. But Tony's gonna do what he wants to do, man. I don't know what he's festering up on that yacht, but I know the Hurt Business were just on his yacht, so hopefully they can convince him to make a story out of this instead of just a blow off match. Even though those guys just came back.
Literally just came back and instantly got a fucking title match the next week. Fucking great work by Tony Khan. Isn't it the Death Riders that took them off TV in the first place? I think it
Yes.
was. It
Yes, it
was.
was.
So I could maybe see them losing this feud and then going on to help Jay White face the Death Riders, or maybe they start to help Jay White face the Death Riders, and that's gonna cost them this feud. Maybe something like that is gonna happen, but that's also a smart way out of it. So I don't know if Tony Khan's actually gonna do it.
Where is Juice? Oh, he broke his foot. I forgot
I was
about
gonna
that.
say I think he's been injured for a while. I think he's
Yeah,
still gonna be out for some time.
he got hurt in the C2, that's right, because he got
Yeah,
replaced with
was it? It
Commander.
was a lucha. Yeah, I was gonna say it was some random lucha. That was a
Fucking
dead ass.
Commander.
Good lord. Commander.
Hangman. Yeah, good lord. What a dud that C2 was this past year. Hangman. Renee asked Hangman about what was up with him going into Swerve's locker room last week. Hangman says it was nothing. It was a moment of weakness, and you are to never ask me about that again. Do you understand?
Hmm. Moment of weakness. Is he about to just squash the beef
I
right
think.
there? And then, hmm.
Could we see? Well, I presume the story would be over by then. I was going to say, could we see guys like Hangman and Swerve joining forces to fight the Death Riders? But I would
Actually,
presume this storyline would be over by then.
yeah, it's
Unless
Tony
it's,
Khan.
well, I
Well,
mean,
I think it's still gonna be a while, dude.
we got another 5 months, maybe. Maybe.
Good
We
lord.
got another 5
Uh,
months till July, so
I
very
mean,
well could be.
I would definitely fuck with a little, not long term, obviously, but a little improvised tag team with Swerve and Hangman. I would actually go pretty fucking hard in terms of in the ring. So I'd be down for a little stint of those two helping each other.
Hey man, if there's a story behind it, then I will be open ears. Um
Always.
so she then says, once Christopher Daniels told you you had to retire, you look like you had a bit of regret on your face. Hangman takes a deep breath. He says, "No." Got a LOL out of the crowd. Then he says Daniels overstepped and he paid the cost for it. Caster then comes in and he says, Hangman, he says, Renee, he needs to wrap this up. He says, oh, actually, Hangman, you're pretty good at bringing people to the hospital. You should do that to Billy or Anthony. Hangman says, I am pretty good at that, but Billy's not here and Anthony's not here, so maybe I can do that to you. Caster says, no, I'm okay. I'm gonna go sit in my car. Hangman then follows him and says, no, I'm gonna come with you. As he follows Caster around the arena, and obviously we've seen this play into a bit of story a little bit later in the night, but no, the segment was great. Before Caster came in, I actually really, I just love Adam Page. I love Adam Page as a promo, and I just love, I love his facial expressions, man. He is, for somebody that doesn't take advice, man, he's pretty fucking good, dude. He's pretty fucking
Yeah.
good at this thing.
Maybe
His
he really
facial
didn't need
expression.
that advice.
No, he really didn't, man. But no, his facial expressions are always on point, and I just love the story he tells just by looking at his face. You know,
Oh, dude, it's so great, and I love this current arc of the character he's in, where he is starting to regret the shit he's doing, but he's so deep into it, he kind of feel like he can't, turn back now. It's fucking great, dude. This man just does great work.
Indeed. Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita
There
defeat
you go.
the Hounds of Hell, which Tony Schiavone kept calling them the House of Hell. Speak,
Dog. Just...
Speaking of Tony Schiavone, there was an episode of Collision this week, which a lot of people actually liked. So I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, but I'm happy for the Colliders, man. You guys have sat through, out of 52 weeks in a year, you guys probably sit through about 51 rough collisions. Maybe 50 rough collisions out of the year. But you guys had a good week this week, and Tony, there was a backstage segment. I seen the clip floating around on social media. There was a clip of Lance Archer attacking somebody in the back.
Oh my
as
God.
Tony Schiavone says, "Oh my God, that's Lance Storm."
And then it's so funny because if he fucks up, he just goes with that fuck up. Because the second he goes, oh my God, it's Lance Storm, guys, Lance Storm. Like, dude, he just keeps going. If he fucks up, he'll just stick with it, and that's who it is now. Apparently, it's just Lance Storm now. So bad, dude. You really need to change that fucking commentary, man, because that's just insane.
It's Lance
Storm.
Storm. And fucking Nigel McGuinness goes, "I think that's Lance Archer." Tony Schiavone then goes, "Oh yeah, but oh," because he banged the dude's head into the door, and he just, I guess, used that to sidetrack him. "Oh yeah, but oh God, oh, the door."
Oh, I can't fucking do commentary.
He is
Good
so
Lord.
bad. The House of Hell.
The House of Hell. Yeah, Dynamite.
Well, Buddy Matthews was on the top rope, and Okada's music hit to lend the distraction towards Fletcher and Takeshita. Fletcher and Takeshita then would take advantage and throw Buddy off the top rope onto the outside, as they would hit a assisted brain buster on Brody King to pin Brody King and get the victory. So Brody King takes the pinfall loss here. You just repackaged the Hounds of Hell, or you just repackaged the House of Black as the Hounds of Hell.
And they're already losing.
And you put them in a position to lose already.
Julia Hart's already losing. These guys are. It's like, dude, do you just not care? Like,
no, not at all.
Why do you expect people to just be soldiers for you when this is how you treat repackaged in need of momentum talent? You make them all lose. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
I mean, dude, wins and losses aren't everything, but when all you do is lose, eventually perception is reality. And all your audience is going to look at these guys as is great talent that are losers.
Yep. That's all they'll be, because that's how Tony Khan treats some great talent. It's going to be a great banger match with a graphic, and they're just going to lose, and you're just like, oh, they're going to lose. Look at Lance Archer. Look at him. He's Lance Loser forever in AEW. The longer he stays in AEW, the more he's solidified as Lance Loser, the lifer. He is going to be AEW's lifer. That's just a loser, and that's how he's portrayed.
Yep. And I do not understand putting the Hounds of Hell that are just freshly repackaged as the Hounds of Hell in a losing situation.
Insane work, dude.
Samoa Joe and Hook. Oh, it's
Thank
made
God.
my night.
Oh
my God.
We got a real TV back for a few seconds.
I fucking sorely missed these two guys together doing these backstage like segments where they're talking to each other. Dude,
that's so great.
Samoa Joe and Hook are walking through the backstage area. Joe says he's pissed. He doesn't like steel being wrapped around his skull. Hook says, "You said it yourself. You can't be furious because then you're not focused." Joe tells Hook back. He says, "What did I tell you about using my own stuff against me?" And, Joe's like, all right, you ready? So they go in. They ask where Christian Cage is. And Nick Wayne says, no. Can I leave a message? And then Hook and Joe are like, oh, we'll leave. And then Joe said, well, actually, no, I guess we could leave a message. They attack Wayne and Sabian, and Christian opens the door as he comes back from wherever he was, peeks his fucking head in, closes the door, and leaves them in there. As they leave, Christian is hiding around the corner, walks in, knowing damn well what happened, and he walks in the door and starts freaking out, saying, oh my God, what happened?
I love that man so much.
Hilarious.
Fucking hilarious. I missed Hook and Samoa Joe so much.
Oh,
I miss seeing more of Christian just being, the classic fucking phenomenal heel he is. This type of shit I miss from Dynamite so fucking much, and that was such a nice breath of fresh air is getting a segment like that, man.
it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I like you. I think the last time we seen these guys was around September or October. When I tell you
Too long.
I miss these backstage segments of these two, their chemistry on screen is magnificent. It is fantastic, dude.
Chemistry. They just bounce off each other instantly.
Oh God, man, it's great, dude. It's great stuff, and you see it here, with the return of these segments. It was just like, when you do that when you see these two on screen together. It's just like, man, I fucking these guys were great television, and now they're great television again because they're back. And no, it was great.
See it. It was.
MJF. Oh. All right.
Used to be great.
This used to be great television. I remember when we were coming on Unscripted talking about his promo battles with Punk and with Regal and with Moxley and with Danielson and with hell, even his promo battles with Jericho. They were all great. And now here we are.
We sigh.
MJF says the E in All Elite Wrestling does not stand for elderly.
Oh, he got him. Oh. You know what it stands for? It stands for end me. Please, just do it.
All right. We're already off to a bad start, but yes,
literally.
He says the E in All Elite Wrestling does not stand for elderly. He says he is glad to be getting back his Triple B soon. The way Tony Khan is booking MJF and the current status of his character, I am yet again left laughing because I fucking told each and every single one of you this is where his character would end up when they return him back heel, and everybody was like, man, this is great work. It never was great work. This is mediocre work that has already been done, and his character should have taken a new direction because that was the development of his character. And he reverted back. It's almost like he hopped in a time machine and he reverted back to MJF of 2019. He's doing that all over again. And you see how stale it is.
Literally so goddamn stale. Like, dude, literally, I say it every week with MJF, but you could do it too. You could predict everything in his promo. There's going to be the city sucks, it stinks, it's dirty, you guys are poor line, some random insult about, him banging somebody's wife or girlfriend or something. Dude, it's like the same, like, 7 bullet points he's going to hit every promo. It's the most repetitive shit ever.
I don't know, man. So, yes, He says the last time he checked, the E in All Elite Wrestling did not stand for elderly. And he is glad he is close to getting back his Triple B. Max Caster and Hangman then come running out into the arena as this is the continuation from their segment earlier in the night, as Hangman is chasing Max and Hangman gets into the ring, faces off with MJF. They walk away. Max took a slight jab at Hangman, and before he could really, start to say much of anything, Dustin Rhodes comes out. Yo, what up, Lonnie? What did Luca have tonight?
He's dropping loads apparently.
I hope that means he had a good game. I hope that means he had a good game. No, Luca.
I think that he had a good post game.
Luca's my guy, man, and you guys are lucky to have him, bro. But I seen AD did great for my Mavericks, and then he got hurt in the same fucking game he debuted in.
God damn.
You can't make this shit up.
You still got it.
You cannot make this shit up, dude. Nico fucking Harrison, dude. Good lord. Anyways. Well, I gotta take a second to mess with Lonnie, bro. How about the halftime show, dog? How about it?
Goated.
Mwah. Beautiful. But Dustin Rhodes comes out. He said he's going to knock MJF's teeth down his throat if he mentions his friend Owen again. He says he needs to stop talking about people's wives and addictions. He says he beat addiction. And he went to the bottom of hell where he looked the devil in the eyes. And it's not MJF. He says he has all the potential in the world, and he wasted it doing this crap. He says he's better than MJF's bitch ass, and he freaking knows it. This was so deeply out of nowhere. It seemed forced. It seemed like forced animosity. And Dustin, where was that one line? MJF had all the potential in the world and he wasted it doing this crap. Yes, that's true.
Right, actually.
He's absolutely right.
Good lord.
Other than that, this was just so out of nowhere for me. Bro. I was just left wondering, like,
You're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Who can we have face MJF next? You got Dustin. You pulled out Dustin Rhodes, dog. What? What does this do for anybody? Who wants this?
I don't know. And again, I don't know. What was so odd to me was it's like, dude, Dustin Rhodes is coming out here and he's like sunning MJF. He's talking to him like he's his fucking grandfather. Why are you talking about the dead? And why are you talking about people's wives and addictions? Don't be doing that, boy. And like, what? Why is he coming out here acting like his fucking dad? Like,
dude, what are you doing? Like, what is the point of this, bro?
This reeked of that original, MJF and Jeff Jarrett promo where it just felt like the most forced heat. I mean, yeah. Dustin damn near just came out here screaming. Like, MJF didn't even really say anything to really piss him off. I mean, he said things, to Jeff Jarrett, but like, I feel like
he said like one Owen line and that was it. That was like the worst thing he felt like. Oh, okay, like what?
I don't know. Felt ridiculously forced.
It really did.
MJF says, after all the work you did in your career, you were always overshadowed by your dad. And then you would grow up to live in the shadow of your little baby bro. And then Dustin attacked him. And this turned into a pull-apart brawl between Dustin Rhodes and MJF, which led to MJF low-blowing Dustin. And that was that, as we're getting Dustin Rhodes versus MJF next week. Holy motherfuck, get this guy away from this fucking company.
Dude, I'm telling you, this man. I hope he has a fucking design to cover up that tattoo he got with that AEW logo, man. Because holy shit, you made the wrong choice, homie. You made the right choice in your heart, but in your mind, you should have 100% signed with WWE because you know where Tony Khan was going. You signed because of the money, and this is what happens when you sign for money. This is the creative you get when you choose cash.
Man, yeah. So we're getting Dustin and MJF next week. I don't care, man. I genuinely don't care, dude. That. I mean, who asked for this, bro? I mean, that was that, man. Again, I mean, it just seems forced. You know, I'm really wanting to see, you know, we heard on Friday that they're pivoting towards the MJF and Adam Page feud. I mean, I am just begging for that at this point because MJF feuding against all these old timers, man, it sucks.
It's horrible.
Regardless, I do like, you know, I do like the line that Dustin told him, man. Literally all the potential in this world, and he's doing the same fucking crap that he's been doing the whole entire time. It's true, man. It really rings true about MJF. But yeah, so that was that, and yeah, that was that, and yeah, I mean the segment just felt forced to me, man.
Oh, 100%. It's just, it's the most forced, just lame ass shit you could come up with, dude. Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Tony Storm versus Queen Aminata. Tony Storm was announced as the Glamour. Tony Storm, as her newest performance, was dressing up as one Mariah May. Wow.
Incredible.
This was quite the performance from Tony Storm, and it was a great match. It was a great match. Tony Schiavone, I think, would agree with me because the camera panned to him as Tony was making her entrance, and they put the camera on Mariah May to see how angry she was, and Tony Schiavone was happier than a fucking pig in shit, just sitting there smiling with just cheesing.
Bro was cheesing in that chair, bro. That man was marking the fuck out.
I mean, no wonder why his commentary's so shit. He fucking has his mind on other things. Man, yeah, this was something. This was something, man.
I like the performance as I thought that was really creative. You know, obviously Tony Storm, the timeless gimmick is, you know, like an old time actor essentially, and she's doing another performance as someone she's going against. I didn't think of that, and that's just a really cool way of doing it. I did not. I was very just taken aback when they like announced her as the Glamour and doing like as perform. I thought that was really cool, man. I love that element of her character is like the performer of it. I think you have a lot of potential in that for future feuds too.
Yeah, this seemed to light all the AEW versions ablaze. As I don't think they've I think this is well, you know, this is probably about as close as they'll get to anything in their entire life. And no, I mean, it was cool by Tony Storm, man. It's always cool. I mean, it was cool when Mariah used to dress up as Tony Storm and kind of just play into the actor I guess, type gimmick. But no, it was cool. It was cool, man. Tony Schiavone cracked me up with his Tony Schiavone absolutely cracked me up with his just overabundance of happiness. As Tony Storm defeated Queen Aminata with a Mayday in what was a pretty good match, and she then did a mock Mariah May promo after, talking about, you know, she's the woman from hell and all this, and Mariah May ended up getting pissed off and went to go confront Tony Storm. Then she ended up storming off, just pissed off. I did see she beat her up on Collision, so I guess that was that. But no, I mean, it was great. It was great, man. Like I said, it definitely set Twitter ablaze. That's for sure.
Never fails.
Yeah, but they were they were jumping out of their boots to see Tony Storm dressed as Mariah May. But no, it was good nonetheless, man. It was good, and yeah, I enjoyed it, man. So that was
Definitely, I think I enjoyed it. I like she is a phenomenal actor, man, because she got like that promo and body language cadence down to a T. She talked exactly like how Mariah talks. She's so phenomenal at what she does, dude. She really is.
only women worth a paycheck in that company.
I'm telling you, man.
So from one great performer to the learning tree, we get a New York Minute calling out Bandito to set up Brian Keith versus Bandito on Collision. Will Hobbs and the Outrunners then come out to brawl with the learning tree. Why Bandito didn't come out to brawl, being that they just called him out? Oh fucking K.
No, man.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I mean, I believe this was the segment they were supposed to do last week, but Hobbs couldn't get cleared, so that was that.
Bandito went from ROH Purgatory to Collision Purgatory, so man's just stepping his way through Purgatory. Hopefully he makes it to Paradise soon, and I guess you could call AEW Paradise for him.
Yeah, I guess. I fucking guess,
Paradise
dude.
for me.
Yeah, not at all. The main event was Ricochet versus Swerve. This is a very good match. And I'm glad that they did have this main event. A lot of times Tony Khan will throw his biggest match on the entire show on first.
Or in the middle.
And then have the most random thing main event. So I'm happy this main evented. Obviously, two big names, and they put on a great match, man. Ricochet took a power bomb on the fucking barricade.
Oh,
good God, that did not look nice.
Fun. No.
Swerve went for the swerve stomp. Ricochet put his hands up, and it ended up low blowing Swerve Strickland, which was an accident. It was sort of an accident because Ricochet. Commentary was playing it up like, you know, Ricochet did a legal move. All he did was put his hands up to block, and it ended up catching Swerve, you know, and ended up low blowing Swerve. So I do like that aspect. Ricochet got excited and hit the spirit gun on Swerve Strickland to beat Swerve and win the match. He would then take the Embassy's jacket afterwards and walk off with it. So that was your main event of Dynamite. It was a very good match. And that was that. And yeah, that was your episode of Dynamite in Atlanta. I mean, again, it wasn't the most perfect show, but I'll tell you this, man, it was a hell of a lot better than we are used to getting on Wednesday night. So that I can appreciate.
It was a way better watch than it usually is, which it wasn't a great show, I'll tell you that, but it was, like I said, it was better than it usually is, man. I like the main event. I like how they ended that and played it up as Ricochet legitimately it was a literal, like, in, you know, kayfabe fluke victory. I like how they played that up a lot. I like Tony Storm stuff. I like the guns and Hurt Syndicate stuff. And overall, it wasn't a bad night, dude. Obviously, it has its bores in there. Obviously, it has MJF just making you depressed in there. But overall, it was a better Dynamite than it usually is.
Yes. So yeah, that was a AEW Dynamite for the week, and an official word from our sponsors here at NHP, man. W Energy. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without the jitters. W Energy is a clean formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W Energy purchase, man. So, as always, thank you, Dubby, for working with us, man, and thank you for being an official sponsor of what we do here at NHP.
Really, always got to shout out W, man. Whether you guys need to stay awake for work, workout, watching Dynamite, or like us, complaining all day, W will give you the energy to do everything in there.
Indeed it will, man. Indeed it will. So, with that, moving on over here to Smackdown. Couple things from Smackdown here. So, the show opened up very, very identical to the one on Monday. It was Jey doing his entrance, going to talk, asking for them to run it back, and then he did his entrance more. I'll say this now, and I really hope it doesn't come true, because I love Jey Uso's entrance. I don't want them to continue to do the run it back thing. I just don't want them to. I don't want them to overdo it, to the point where, you know, the first 10 minutes of the show, is somebody's entrance. I know his entrance is over, but in wrestling, you know, I know a lot of people don't understand this, but less is more. Less is really more, man. So, I don't want to see them continue to do that, but nonetheless, the show opened up very similar to the same, to the way it opened up last Monday, with, you know, Jey doing his thing, you know, running it back, doing some more of it. He then called out Cody Rhodes, and they teased you with the possibility of Jey and Cody. They talked about winning tag titles together, and they talked about being, you know, great friends, and Cody just talked about how much of an honor it would be to face Jey. Jey said he was going to think on it because he's got personal problems with Gunther, and Fatu and Tama Tonga would then come out in the middle of them talking. Fatu and Tama Tonga came out, and Fatu dropped a very interesting line that we're going to talk about when we talk about the end of this show. He dropped a line to Cody. He said, "You got that championship, and it needs to come back to my family, and we're coming to take it back." Planting seeds of, you know, Fatu wanting to go after the WWE Championship, which the day Fatu goes after the WWE Championship is going to be a scary fucking day, because
it's going to be demon time.
Yes, it is. But that's a very interesting line, man. So I want you guys to remember that, because we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But they set up a main event with Tama, Fatu versus Jey and Cody at the end of the show. And that was that. That was the opening segment, man. Did you have anything you wanted to say about that?
I really enjoyed it, and obviously love Jacob Fatu. Came out there, cut a phenomenal promo, dude. And I like how they were able to, throughout that episode of SmackDown, tie in the KO stuff with Cody, and be like, hey, Cody was just, he was kind of scared, you know, what can Jey Uso turn into if he does go after me? You know, I lost all my friends so far, you know, for them coming after me, will I lose another one? I like how they played up that story throughout the night, man. I like what they did there.
Definitely. Cody is in the back, and he is talking to The Miz. And in the background, and there was a couple other times that this happened during the night, Nakamura is just standing in the background with the U.S. title draped over his shoulder, just standing there. Like, dude, what the fuck are you watching Cody Rhodes for? Don't you have your own title that you're failing to uphold right now?
Maybe he's watching the minute. I can't finish that sentence. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. It made sense to me when he was doing it to Jimmy, because that's who I assume he's gonna face at Mania, and who's probably gonna beat him, especially after this SmackDown and the promo that we got from Jimmy. Jimmy's been really good lately, man. So
Yeah,
I don't really know why they've been teasing all this random other shit with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. You took the U.S. Championship off LA Knight, not to put it on Carmelo Hayes, to put it on fucking Nakamura, and you hardly feature him. I mean, what's with these mid-card champions being stuck backstage?
I don't fucking understand what they're doing with these mid-card titles, dude. I don't get it.
I mean, all the work that Gunther did with his IC title, and hell, LA Knight was even a really good U.S. champ. I enjoyed LA's reign.
He was there every week. He was in the ring, cutting promos, doing his shtick. It was great.
Matches.
Yeah.
And then they give it to Nakamura.
It's like, dude, there's more to your mid-card division than fucking backstage.
Yeah, so that was that. The Street Profits. The Street Profits had a vignette where they were, it seems like they were still baby faces, but now they are not your happy-go-lucky, jumping up and down with the Solo Cup Street Profits. They seem to be more of a edgier version of the Street Profits, man. Angelo Dawkins was doing most of the speaking, and I actually thought that fucking came off great. I've said it for years.
Oh, yeah.
On the mic, Angelo Dawkins is far more intense, far more intimidating, and better than Montez Ford. Montez Ford Montez Ford clears Dawkins in the ring. Obviously, that's not up for debate. Yeah. But in terms of the presence on the mic presence, I find whenever Montez speaks, it comes off a little cringy to me. Because as soon as Angelo gets done with his promo in this vignette, Montez just starts saying, yeah. Like, dude,
calm it down, bro. You guys are trying to be cool and edgy.
Can you let him be intimidating without you saying, yeah? I mean, what? So that was kind of that, obviously I didn't like that, but most of this backstage vignette I actually really like. I like the Street Profits being more intimidating, and I like Dawkins doing most of the speaking, because like I said, nine times out of 10 when Montez talks, he's overly energetic to the point where it's just like, dude, calm it down.
Back.
Yeah.
It literally, man. So I like that aspect. Finally, they're giving them an edge. It fucking took forever, but it's finally here, and just let Dawkins speak more and keep them as a tag team, dude. You still got something there you could do.
Yeah, definitely. So Tiffany came face to face with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte, she's still on her quest of trying to feel inspired. She told Rhea last Monday that she would see her this Monday, and she wasn't on the show. So I'm assuming that means that, maybe she decided to pass on Rhea Ripley. She's trying to feel inspired. This whole segment with Tiffany Stratton just ended with a bunch of people. It ended with a bunch of people coming out, which led to the return of Alexa Bliss, or the I guess one-on-one in ring, the Smackdown return of Alexa Bliss. She faced off against Candice LeRae and punched her ticket to the Elimination Chamber, or the as the Smackdown graphics say, the women's no escape match.
Yeah, I don't know why they're showing us the Germany graphics because heck,
Weird.
obviously what the match has to be called in Germany, obviously,
Yeah.
but like, why are you showing us that? It's yeah, I'm sure you have the wherewithal to separate the feed from different countries and whatnot. So I don't understand that, but okay. It had Twitter in a frenzy when they just had to take 2 minutes to Google it, but Twitter, they'll ask Twitter before they ask Google. So, oh, is it called the No Escape match now? What the? No, you have to look it up. That's why we have the internet. But okay.
Yeah, is that too? When I first looked at it, I was like, no escape. I was like, what is even that? And then I looked it up, and I was and I was like, oh, I sure do
Mhm.
remember in Germany that it had to, that they can't use the word chamber. But yeah, I don't know why they aired that on our feed. Um,
Yeah,
but
you know,
but yeah, that was that, yeah, because I for sure do remember it being called the No Escape a couple years ago. I remember hearing
yeah.
about that, but I completely forgot because I haven't seen I haven't I I mean, why would I just remember that on a random Friday? But yeah, I mean, it took 2 seconds, but yes, it did send Twitter into everybody's like, what is this pointless name change? Like, like Sir K said,
Ah,
it literally takes 2 seconds. These are the same people that preach using Google. Oh, I used
oh yeah,
Google and I found my
use
answers. Apparently,
Google.
they don't want to use Google though. So, uh,
No, who is this person? Use Google, and they just changed the match, but they it just took a quick Google. Yeah, fucking dude, the internet is a fucking hilarious place. It really is.
so yeah, so that was that, and yeah, Charlotte didn't really end up making a decision yet, but that was the whole women's segment. That was the whole women's segment there, and we got a promo from Kevin Owens. He was in his car with scars all over his face, and he called out Sami Zayn for being a horrible friend. He told him, "You're a horrible friend. You're a horrible person. You stood there and watched Cody try to end my life. Meanwhile, when somebody is punching Roman Reigns in a corner in the Royal Rumble match, there you are running to his defense to save him." Fantastic. Absolutely. Anytime. All you have to do is get Kevin Owens in a car with his phone, and bro's gonna give you a great promo there. He could probably give you a great promo in the fucking grocery store.
Hmm.
This was great. I love this, man, and I just love, but I love where this is going, man. This is telling you, when Sammy gets back, man, we are in for some great ass storytelling here, man. This is gonna be good stuff. I mean, we're already getting great storytelling now, and Sammy's not even back yet. But yeah, this was a great promo from Owens here.
Oh, it truly was, man. I love the Owens character. I love how, he is wrong with what he does, but he's also right in his mentality. It's just great stuff. And when Sammy comes back, it's just gonna be even greater, dude. It's truly about to be a phenomenal feud. The best version of their feud, I think, is what we're about to get.
Absolutely, bro. So, speaking of the opposite of good feuds, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's out here, man, and judging off Friday's news, cheap plug, but if you haven't watched it yet, it's up on all platforms for you guys. We all
Mhm.
know he's going to inevitably at WrestleMania fight Damian Priest, which they announced Damian Priest versus Braun Strowman versus Fatu in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And I'm sure Fatu is not going to be pinned, but just knowing that Damian Priest is going to go over there over a guy like Fatu hurts my
Just
heart a little
insane
bit.
work. That's heart wrenching, dude.
It is. It is. But tonight, or on SmackDown, he was in a bit of a he was at least coming off a little bit of the heat with LA Knight. As these guys, get this, these guys use their heat. They're cool. Everything's great. They use their heat and played it up on their promo and their match on SmackDown.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
They used it for intrigue.
Literally, I saw people on Twitter that that sequence in the match where they were like just brawling on each other.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a shoot fight, bro! What are you talking about, dude? At this point, dead ass. If you don't got nothing else for LA Knight at Mania, screw the Damian Priest match. If you're not doing Roman and Priest, do fucking Drew and LA Knight, dude. Or if you're not doing Drew and Roman, do fucking Drew and LA Knight, dude. That's a much better idea for a Mania match. You got the bones right here.
Yeah, I mean they could take they could take what happened at the Royal Rumble, and you can't exactly use what happened at the Royal Rumble because then you're just completely breaking kayfabe. You ruined my spot. We need to have a match at WrestleMania, so you can build off that. Yes, exactly. Yes, you can build off that. You could do a bunch of different things with that. A bunch of different things that are a hell of a lot better than Damian Priest. You can you could do a bunch of things, man. You can say, these guys, you kind of already started with, LA Knight thinking that Drew's a whiner. You could not like, you could have Drew McIntyre not like just the way LA Knight operates with all his catchphrases and all that kind of stuff. You could play into that. And there's a bunch of things you can do if you did want to pivot. Obviously, you can't change the fact that Damian Priest eliminated Drew McIntyre from the Rumble. But if you wanted to, again, pivot in a different direction, 1,000% honest with you guys, I would much rather see Drew McIntyre and fucking LA Knight than Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And again, I'm not even just saying that from the point of, you need to play into what happened at the Rumble, because that itself wouldn't make any sense. But those two guys, you could definitely craft a story out of that. You could definitely craft a story out of that. Like I said, there's no plausible way you could have Drew McIntyre come out and say, I'm mad because you stumbled back and ruined my elimination spot. But there, if you did want to craft something there, you could. You definitely could.
Because these guys, they can work with each other. Obviously, from SmackDown, that they could shoot the promo off, and they were shooting off in that match against each other, dude. So that sounds like a more intriguing Mania match to me.
Yes, LA Knight is a guy who, I would say his character takes a lot of responsibility. Drew McIntyre's character takes no responsibility. So right there, you have, the opposites of and in general, they're just very opposite people, but, or opposite characters.
LA Knight's promos are and anytime LA Knight loses, his promo after is always, I lost, but next I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna get my lick back. He always just puts his head up and just looks forward, and it's kind of the opposite of Drew's character. So you could have a very, very good feud with that.
LA Knight had a promo, and he talked about how, in the beginning of the promo, he talked about how if you are a man, he talked about how it was okay to cry, and how, if you do cry, it's good for your mental health, and it doesn't make you any less of a man. And I wanted to repeat that on Unscripted because that's very true. And I think that's something, I think that's something a lot of people struggle with. I think that's something a lot of people struggle with, us men or boys or whatever. I think that's something that we do struggle with a lot. So I wanted to repeat that because that's a very moving message, and I really like that in his promo.
Like how he threw that in there. Exactly.
Yeah, I did. I thought that was very nice. Then a little bit later in the promo, he said to Drew McIntyre, at the end of his promo, he said to Drew McIntyre, "Hold on, Drew. Let me get my stuff in. So kind of made Drew laugh. Yeah, but no, it was a great promo by LA Knight, and yeah, that's a great message, man. So for real, to any of the men or the boys that may be watching this, man, it is okay to cry. It is okay to cry sometimes, man, and it really doesn't make you any less of a man. And like I said, man, that is something I think a lot of us do struggle with, and it's a good message. That's a good message.
It is.
So
It's a phenomenal message, and I'm glad he got that in there.
yeah. So also in the match, there was like a little sequence where they did like Drew smack the back of LA's head, and then these two like kind of scuffled, and then Jimmy kind of got in there to like, I guess, even it out a little bit. But no, these guys are just playing up to the heat and having fun with it, making the internet guess, making the internet go crazy. Is it a shoot? Is it this? Is it that? Keep people guessing. I loved it.
Amazing. I loved it. I thought they had great chemistry and all of this in their promo, in their match, and I think they have the chemistry to craft a story to be a better match and story than Damian Priest could give at WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Yes. The main event. So no, not Solo. Cody and Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Cody and Jey won with a crossroads to Tama. And after the match, while Cody is celebrating, we see the return and the reemergence of one Solo Sikoa. Well, he spikes Cody Rhodes. Okay, so this had a lot of people. This had a lot of people taken back. A lot of people were pissed about Solo versus Cody 3.
Oh, we need to get Cody out of the Bloodline circle, man.
I'd hate to break it to you guys. 90% of the people that are in the Bloodline circle
are better off.
That is true. They are. That is very true. But when do you guys think the Bloodline is going to end exactly? Because as far as I'm concerned, they talk about this storyline going on for years. So some of these guys are always going to be in the Bloodline circle, whether you like it or not. And okay, so here's the thing. Am I a just huge fan of what Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa do inside of the ropes? No, I'm not. I think the best match they had was that September 15th episode or the September 13th episode of Smackdown on the USA Network in that steel cage. I think that was their best work. When you talk about their work from an in-ring perspective, like I said, is it impressive work? No, it's not. And I know it's not necessarily something we all want to see, but hear me out. A lot of people seem to think that, why is Solo back? Why is Solo back? Well, he's the Rock's henchman, or he's he's with the Rock, or he's doing it to bring the title back to the family or whatever. We'll go back to that one. Let me cover the Rock one first. People thinking that Solo Sikoa is back as the Rock's final henchman before the Rock steps in and fights Cody Rhodes. First of all, if that's true, the Rock needs to get it the fuck together. Are you doing the show or not? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's a whole Elimination Chamber match set up to fight Cody at Mania. So I don't know where The Rock came into this whole thing. Now, again, The Rock could very well interject himself, but honestly, bro, at this point, I don't see that happening. I think he would have been way more involved around this time of year if that was the case. But Solo being one of The Rock's henchmen, I honestly just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening, and I honestly don't think The Rock is going to be there at this point. And we have to look at this from the bigger picture. And this is one thing I'm trying to stress a lot throughout this WrestleMania season, but we have to look at the bigger picture here, because a lot of people are just looking towards just the moment itself, right? We talk about Jey and Gunther. Everybody says, well, what about the moment at WrestleMania? The moment at WrestleMania is going to be great. What happens after WrestleMania? With Solo and Cody, a lot of people are saying, you know, well, what about Elimination Chamber? What's that going to look like for Elimination? That's going to be horrible at Elimination Chamber. Is it going to be the greatest thing at Elimination Chamber? No. And a lot of people are saying, you know, that's, you know, Cody's looking towards Cena and Cena or Punk. Well, you know, why is he fighting Solo? Well, because at that show, they're going to crown the winner to fight Cody. He's going to need something to do before then. Let's go back to earlier in the night. And when I say look at the bigger picture here, Jacob Fatu uttered the words of, "My family needs that title back," insinuating he's going to be the one to go get the title back. And then at the end of the show, coincidentally, Solo Sikoa comes back. It's almost as if Solo doesn't believe that Jacob is that dude to get the title back for his family. It's almost as if this is setting up the building blocks to Jacob finally turning on Solo Sikoa. And that is my point through all of this. This is what I think here. Solo Sikoa coming back is a way to disrespect Jacob, because in Solo's mind, Jacob is nothing more than an enforcer. You're my enforcer. You're nothing without me. I brought you here. How the fuck are you gonna come in and then say you're going after a title that I have been trying to get for the better part of 6 to 8 months? I think what this is, I don't think he's a Rock henchman. I don't think Jacob was referring to Solo earlier in the night. Jacob is stepping out into his own man, and I honestly think Solo is back because that might scare Solo Sikoa, that Jacob is realizing he doesn't need Solo. And I think he's back for the World Championship. He's gonna fight Cody. It's not going to be the end of the world, and I can see that being the setup for Jacob to say, dude, earlier in the night, I proclaimed going for that championship. Now you come back after you walked out on us? Then he turns on him. That's what I think, and I don't think this is as big of a deal as everybody's making it out to be. To be quite honest with you, you got to look at the bigger picture here. Solo not only walked out on Jacob Fatu, but now he's stepping on his toes for going after a World Heavyweight Championship, just because maybe he doesn't believe that Jacob is that guy. Maybe he just believes Jacob is my enforcer. He's not a world champion. I'm a world champion. And obviously that's going to piss off Fatu. That's what I think that is. And again, I really don't think that it is that big of a deal, to be honest. And again, is what they do in the ring, is it going to be outstanding? No, but it's something to get Cody, to the point where, he can come out of Mania or come out of Elimination Chamber and then have a challenger, because what else is he going to do at Elimination Chamber? You can't put him against Fatu because we're not having Fatu lose, No. Put him against Solo, have Solo fail again, and then, tell the falling out of Jacob and Solo, because Solo doesn't believe in Jacob. And, have Jacob come back with, dude, I've been your enforcer. All these times you've went for the belt and you fucking failed. And you won't let me go for it? For what? And then, have Solo, admit to him, I don't believe in you. You're my enforcer, and that's it. And then, boom, Jacob turns. What do you think about this? Talk to me, bro. The Rock's henchmen, big of a deal. What's going on here? What did you think about this whole thing?
Yeah, in terms of The Rock, all the Rock related stuff, I got to put my hand on the fans, on the shoulder of the fans that think that, and tell them, Rock, story's over, bro. Rock ain't showing up. It's over with. I think he would have been around here more by now if he was scheduled for Mania. From all we know, he's not scheduled for Mania at this point. He's too busy. He had to step out, and I do not think he's going to be involved in this Mania in terms of being there at Mania in a match. Um, and as for people freaking out, solos coming after Cody, like you said, dude, I think it is really just to set up the match with him and Jacob. I mean, eh, Solo, he doesn't know what else to do at this point. I mean, he lost to get that title initially twice. He lost his tribal chief status. He lost that match. He has nothing. He's desperate. The only way he could think about doing anything is not even consoling his faction. None of that. Just going straight for Cody and attempt that again. And he's essentially leaving his guys in the dust, and I don't think his guys are gonna appreciate that very much. And I think it's no matter how it may happen, no matter what the setup is, it's obviously setting up Solo and Jacob for Mania. I think that's the obvious case here. And I think I don't know why people aren't looking at the bigger picture here when that's all they talked about back at the Royal Rumble, like you mentioned, but I digress on that one, man. But overall, I think it's obviously to set up Solo, Jacob at Mania, and it's gonna not carry Cody, but it's gonna keep Cody moving until we know who his Mania opponent is gonna be, and I think
Yes.
it all works out nicely, man. Obviously, like you mentioned, the match, let's say Cody and Solo don't. They're not shooting off Will Ospreay style in the ring together, man. But that's really not the point here. The point is to set up Mania for the big show. Is you got to set it up, and this is their way of setting it up. So I like it. Obviously, I could see the bigger picture for Mania for both guys, and I like what they did here, man. I'm very interested to see, on SmackDown, Jacob and the rest of the group's reaction to what Solo did. I wonder, is Solo going to interact with them? How will he? Very interesting stuff, and I like what they're doing here.
Definitely, man. So yeah, I do get your guys' complaint of, not wanting to see these guys in the ring again, because like I said, it's nothing spectacular, but it's
Well,
something that's going to, you know, like Sir K just said, get Cody to the point where he will
once he's done
then
with this.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
once he's done with Solo for the final time, hopefully, once he's done with Solo for the final time, he will then know his Mania opponent, so he could step away from that and do that, whether it's Cena, Punk, whoever. And Solo will then have his Mania build to start in Jacob Fatu. Because the whole time Solo's been gone, Jacob's the guy who stepped up. So it's really going to piss Jacob off hearing
Mm-hmm.
Solo, not really believe in him and not really want to, see him go for the world championship yet. And it's going to be a really good story, man. And it's going to be, it's a story going into Mania that not a lot of people are talking about that I think is going to be really good, is Jacob
It
and,
is.
and, and Solo, man. And here, you have great building blocks for this. So a lot of people have tunnel vision and are just thinking, oh, this match at Chamber is going to be awful. But you're not looking at the bigger picture, in my honest opinion, because this sets up WrestleMania for Fatu's first Mania. It's going to be awesome. And
Yep.
Solo's first singles match at Mania, I want to say. The past 2 years, he's just been a Roman's
I
manager, basically.
literally.
Or the guy to run in with a hoodie during the match. So that's basically been his first two Manias, and it's going to set them up great, and it's going to get Cody past Elimination Chamber, or it's going to get Cody to Elimination Chamber with something to do rather. So again,
100%.
I encourage you guys to just look at the bigger picture here and just let that play out, because it's going to be good stuff for everything coming out of it, So that's my opinion on it. I'd love to know what you guys think, man, but yeah, so that's that. And yeah, so that brings us to Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah?
This is your February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw from Nashville, Tennessee. The show opens up with Jey Uso. He opens up and he's doing multiple yeets. Again, he comes out, they chant one more time, he does the run it back, he starts yeeting again, which, again, I really encourage, I love Jay's entrance. Jay's got the best entrance in the game right now. Please, less is more. And I really would think Triple H of all people would know that, because he gave us 1 hour of television a week back in 2018 and really understood the concept of less is more. After you got done watching NXT, that 1 hour episode of NXT, how much were you just clamoring and just begging for more NXT content? Every week that happened. And again, I love Jay, and he's over as fuck. He's so over, and that's great, and I'm so happy for him, and I love his entrance. Like I said, he's got the best entrance of the game, probably up there with Pentagon right now.
Oh, 100%.
And I love his entrance, but please do not overdo this to the point where the first 10 minutes of every show is just yeeting.
Literally, and the main reason for that, I already saw tweets today of people, okay, it's getting kind of unnecessary, and they're already starting that process of getting tired of the whole repeating it back sequence with you gotta know when less is more, because you're gonna fuck yourself. You are.
Yes. So, now that me and Sir Kay are done chronically complaining, Jey Uso is doing his multiple yeeting, and he's on yeet number 2, and Cole starts screaming, Jay, Jay, Jay. And I'm like, damn, what? Why is... Nothing's happening. And I'm like, why? I'm like, is bro just like marking the fuck out right now? And then he sweeps him out. He sweeps him out from the announce table as it is Gunther. It is Gunther, man, who attacks Jey Uso. I don't know if you guys seen it. Not Jay.
Oh my God.
Gunther takes his jacket off, whips it at Pat McAfee. Pat ducks, and he fucking clobbers a kid right in the face. Like literally, bro.
That child.
Fastball fucking pitch right at this kid's face, bro. Oh.
Insane, dude. Fucking full speed right to that child's face, dude. Knock that child down. Fucking brutal.
Man.
Bro, did you see that clip of fucking Gunther on that LFG show?
Oh my God, I did see that. Nobody cares about you.
Well, you gotta get your grit up. Fucking bro, that shit was killing me, dude. That man is, dude. When it cut to Bully and Booker, who are just trying not to laugh, that shit killed me, bro.
Dude,
he was frying.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. I've been trying to tell you guys, when I'm doing raw notes, when I tell you, I almost like sigh of fuck when Gunther comes out, because I just know half the time I'm taking notes for Gunther, I can't take notes because I'm fucking laughing because of the shit that he's saying. Like, it almost happens every time. I'll be taking notes and then I'll just start laughing and completely completely lose my train of speed because he just says something so fucking mean, and it makes me laugh. And I'm like, dude, what? This guy is something, bro. But
I mean, it truly is.
But Gunther attacks Jay. Jay goes to, fight back. Gunther gets him in the ring, completely lays him out. The security walks Gunther off as Jay is laying there. Jay is laying there and he's gasping for air. He grabs a microphone. He's laying on the ground. He tells Gunther, he says, I don't know if I should be saying this right now, but you and me at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. So Gunther gets pissed. He goes to get up back into the ring. He gets on the apron. Jey knocks him down, and as Gunther's being held back in a pool of security guards, Jey does the Uso splash over the top onto the outside to take everybody out. And him and Gunther are then being held back as the match is confirmed. So now the Elimination Chamber match is going Cody's direction to see who fights Cody at WrestleMania, as Gunther is going to be taking a trip to Yeet Street because he will be fighting Jey Uso at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. Regardless on how I feel about it, I actually really enjoyed this opening segment. I enjoyed, and I also enjoy the aspect of them playing up to. I enjoy the aspect of them playing up to Jey making the wrong decision because he spoke out of anger because of Gunther attacking him. Everybody was saying, is Jey going to regret this? So I like the story that they're going for there. I like the story that they're going for there of, Jey speaking out of anger, and is it going to cost him because is Gunther too much for him to handle? And I really like that. And unfortunately, this is the best that Gunther has looked in his World Heavyweight Championship reign, and it's probably going to be coming to an end at WrestleMania. And that kind of sucks because I would have really liked to see him do more with this. But regardless of how I feel about this situation, what this segment they did here tonight, I thought was done beautifully, and I thought this was a great way for Jey to announce Gunther as his opponent, with him interrupting the entrance, and Jey, now they're gonna be, like I said, building up to Jey, choosing Gunther out of anger because of what Gunther did here today, and all that stuff. So, like I said, regardless of how I feel about it, man, I thought this segment was done great, and I thought this was a great way for Jey to choose his Mania opponent as Gunther.
I did. I really liked this segment. I really liked the way they played it up, and it was a heat of the moment. He had this feeling about Gunther for a while. Gunther attacked him again, and in the heat of the moment, he solidified his match, man. So I like what they did there. I like how they're setting it up, and I like how they set it up here on Raw tonight. I like that segment, and I like the story. I like the overall just direction of the story they're taking. It is, he's got a pass with Gunther. He doesn't like Gunther. Gunther doesn't, see competition in him, and Jay's gonna do everything he can to give him that competition, man. And the story is gonna be, it's really good. The story is perfect if he loses, in my opinion. They're just setting up the perfect loss story for me, but it's not probably what's going to happen at Mania. He's probably going to win, which is still a good story. But overall, I like the way they're setting it up, and I really like what they did here. I like how he announced that.
Yes, man, to speak on what you just said.
It's the perfect setup to lose, dude.
Dude, it really reminds me of how polarizing the WrestleMania 39 loss of Cody Rhodes was. When you can get things to a point where they're so believable and almost a foregone conclusion that somebody's going to win. We're to the point nobody expects Gunther to win this.
Dude, it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect.
And again, we're to the point where nobody expects him to win this, and Gunther was always that guy, whether it was his IC title run or his UK title run. Almost every time you thought, oh, this might be the moment,
it isn't.
He would crush your fucking dreams, and he would bury you in a pool of your own blood, bro. Again, and like I said, we're to the point nobody expects Gunther to win this. And how badass would it look for him to go on and face Cena and have this win under his belt where everybody thought he was going to win,
Everybody.
or everybody thought he was
So,
going to lose.
the whole world was behind Jey Uso. Just had all the momentum in the world, had all the fans, and he just crushed them. And he just crushed his dreams. Oh, that'd be so perfect, dude. It's the perfect setup, dude. I know it's
Dude,
not what I'm gonna go with, but it's the perfect setup for Jey to lose, dude.
it's perfect
Oh
because
man,
Gunther's that guy. How many times did he do this with
he's
Chad Gable, with Sheamus, to the
he's the
point
dream.
where, yes, a Drew McIntyre, to the point where you say, maybe this dude has a chance of winning, and then they make it believable, and there he is to fucking stop you right in your tracks.
Crush your dream, dude. It's the perfect setup for it, man.
He's a
God
dream
damn
crusher,
it.
bro, and this is fucking perfect. But
It's the they're not going with it though, so
yeah.
but man, it is the perfect setup for him to lose.
And again, it reminds me, which looking back, man, Cody Rhodes, that WrestleMania 39 loss is almost iconic.
It's
It
iconic.
and it almost made Roman Reigns even more immortal, in my honest opinion.
It did.
And they have the opportunity to do something really special here. I know they're going to give it to Jey. Like I said, at this point,
It's obvious, but
at this point, you might have. I mean, I've thought this the whole time, bro. But I mean, the further we go down this rabbit hole, man, I mean, nobody is expecting Gunther to win at this point. So how fucking awesome would it be if he again crushes dreams? So
hmm I think it'd be a more soul-crushing version of the Cody loss. I think it'd be more soul-crushing than the Cody loss, in my opinion.
could be, but you know.
They're not
WWE
going with
loves
it.
their Kofi Mania, Yeselmania, this year Yeet Mania
You
moments. I know they're going to give it to Jey, and I'm going to be
mhm.
happy for Jey,
It's gonna be good,
but
but
how awesome would it be if
the
Gunther
perfect.
powerbombed this man into oblivion?
Just that 1 through 3 would be the greatest silence ever, dude. Oh man, that would be beautiful. I'm working out already, and it's not gonna happen.
I haven't seen Sir K cheese like this since he watched Dynamite.
Yeah, well, maybe one segment during Dynamite, but
Oh,
other than that,
brother. Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding. But
No, you're
well,
not.
I was funny, Shivani. I'll give you that one. That man was cheesing.
He
But
was.
no, dude, that's a great setup for just a perfect result, man. But they're not going with that, obviously. But
Yeah.
a man can dream.
We could, because we've been witness to a lot of those Gunther matches where people are like, "Oh, maybe he can do it," and then boom, he, he sweeps the rug out from under you and does what he does best, crush dreams. And I would
hmm
love that. But they did play the graphic. They hit the graphic for Gunther and Jey Uso. Dude, they're on like playing cards. It looks fucking beautiful. I can't
Oh,
wait.
dude,
I can't
the
wait.
graphic. I love the graphics. They're on like the poker playing cards.
Yes.
Dude, incredible graphics. I
It's
tell you
yeah,
guys, oh man, I love that casino gambling theme.
yeah. Yeah, they got like that yeah, the graphic is like it's like a Jey Uso like pink and blue playing card next to like Gunther's like a gold
Old
one. Looks sick,
man,
dude. It looks fucking sick.
perfect.
Um but great opening segment, and I loved how they did this, and I just loved. I do like where they're going with the story, man. Like I said, regardless on how I feel about it, well documented at this point. Our clips have been very polarizing around the Jey Uso
Very.
topics,
They
but
had
nonetheless, I did like how they did this segment, and I liked what they did, man. I like what they
I
did
do.
there.
I did.
Rhea Ripley is backstage. They asked her about how she feels about Charlotte coming out of last week and everything surrounding Io. Rhea said she feels like Charlotte is stalling and wasting everybody's time trying to hold on to any bit of relevancy.
Damn.
Io, I know, right? Io then appears behind her and she says, "You cost me at WrestleMania and I am coming for you." Rhea Ripley says, "I can't wait." okay, let's pause right there. I honestly thought that Rhea was going to lobby for Io to be put back in the
She just didn't. She dead ass cost her at Mania. That's crazy work to me, man.
we'll get onto it later because there was a segment later in the show, but they actually announced when a Io and Rhea match is going to happen, and Io's just not at. You guys didn't even put her in the chamber to capitalize off a little bit of that unpredictability.
That's what people want. People really want EO. So even if you aren't going with EO,
Put
why
her in
would
the
you not
match.
put her in the chamber? Exactly. You still put her in the chamber to get that edge of your seat, dude. Is it gonna be EO? Is it gonna be this? Have her be one of the last two in that match.
Yes.
Have the people really off their seat, and you don't go with EO. And it's oh my god, dude. Like, you're missing out on some fire there, dude.
Mind-boggling to me, bro.
Hmm.
Mind-boggling to me. We got a video package for the War Raiders versus American Made, which would happen later on in the night. At a little bit later in the show. We also did get a nice little package for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, just kind of recapping what happened with them last week. But yeah, that is that. That is that, and yeah, we would then get, which honestly, dude, at this point, I don't know. I don't know who could face Rhea Ripley.
I have no.
Roxanne, honestly, I
Oh,
guess is my front runner here. I mean, it was Io, but
now it might have to be Roxanne because they maybe they still could do EO. Maybe they're just I have no idea what they're doing with this, dude. It's so just why what are you doing with Mania, dude? Like, holy shit.
fuck, dude.
Bro, that man Triple H really saw a phenomenal path for Mania and was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna do this. And it's like, bro, what?
My two options were either Io Sky or Jordan Grace. With Jordan going to NXT, I guess you could slot Roxanne Perez in that slot.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they do. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see how the rest of this chamber field turns out, because at this point, I'm fucking lost, dude. But yes, I don't know, man. I'm lost.
I really am, dude.
So we got Damage Control versus Liv and Raquel. This was actually very exciting. This was the return of not Io Sky, Dakota Kai. This is the return of Dakota Kai from injury. And yeah, I thought this was a very good match. It was very exciting. It ended with a over the moonsault to Liv Morgan, who is in the chamber. So I thought here, with Io pinning Liv, I genuinely thought here that this was going to be the moment where good lord, I lost my train of thought. Good lord. Hold on, let me find it. Oh, I thought this was going to be the moment here where we would try to slot, maybe a second chance opportunity match for Io, because in my head, I'm thinking to myself, how could you leave Io out of this chamber match? And then again, well, we'll get to it later in the night, but they actually fucking did. So I don't know, dude.
I have no fucking clue how they're doing this, man. I really don't.
Yeah, so that is that. Bayley is in a qualifying match against Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Love to see probably either, my Women's Intercontinental Champion go into a match and lose, or just lose in the first place, man. I just love that.
You
It's like,
took the
dude,
words right out of my mouth.
remember every year, if The Miz was IC champ, he was in the chamber match, dude, and it was just
Yes.
random. Dude, that was the word. dude, stop putting the mid-card champs in these type of matches, dude.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but bad. Please stop.
Yeah, or
It was
I
like,
don't
I
know,
swear
man.
it
You
was like
know,
3 chambers where I remember that happening.
oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it was 2018. I know he was in the one in 2017, and the one in 2018 he was in as IC champion. I know that for
Oh,
sure.
dude. It's
Um,
like, dude.
but
ugh.
but here's the thing. I have a problem with Triple H here because in NXT, when he booked NXT, his champions were the most protected and the most focal point of the show, where you would almost never see a champion lose in any sort of match other than a title match.
Exactly.
And here, they are just fucking thrown around like boomerangs, man. You got like backstage you got backstage Braun, which is his coin nickname now, which is fucking sad. When's the last time we seen Braun Breaker spear somebody on Monday Night Raw?
Literally.
You have
His okay. Oh,
you
good
have
lord.
you
Okay.
have backstage Shinsuke walking around tilting his head back with his IC championship that he fucking has for no reason. Lyra's losing. The whatever. Lyra's losing on the show. Chelsea Green's some sort of president. I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude.
Dude,
Where's the focal point on these people?
Where's your mid-card champion focal point, dude? When done right, your mid-card title is usually your best part about your weekly television. Around this time last year, that was Raw, was your mid-card fucking division, and it was the best part about the show. So what the fuck are you doing, dude? I don't understand, like, the lack of care for any of your mid-card divisions, men and or women.
I don't know.
Great.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's very concerning for sure. It's very concerning. Like almost no focal point or emphasis on these people.
No, none.
So Bailey and Lyra actually had a very good match. They had a very good match. You know, there was a couple spots here I thought were a little clunky. But you know, it wasn't clunky in the sense of them, you know, I wouldn't say it was them necessarily botching. I would more say it was just maybe them missing their footing quite a bit, maybe trying to move a little too fast. But you could definitely see a blossoming chemistry here between Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. I thought it was very, very good stuff. And Lyra ended up losing by a roll-up. She didn't necessarily lose clean, but it was still my women's IC champion losing on television, which is Becky ever going to come back? I mean, when I either thought I thought Becky maybe costing Lyra Valkyria was your best option here. Costing Lyra maybe the qualifying match. My idea was having her cost Lyra the chamber match. I thought that would have just been great, but I understand you have to get Bailey in there to, you know, because Roxanne is going to be in there and you want to play up to that, but man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's never going to sit well with me when a champion is just blatantly losing on television. But nonetheless, I did enjoy the match, and Bailey does advance here.
Exactly. It was a good match, and at the end of the day, like, Lyra will survive with this and whatnot, but like it's just a pattern with the mid-card title and the mid-card champion just not being a focal point, dude, and it's a heavy repeating pattern with Triple H as of late.
Yes. Yes, it is. We have a Pentagon vignette where he is he says he has zero fear. He says he has zero respect for cowards that attack him from behind. As you know, he's obviously talking about Kaiser. And Kaiser, it then goes to a video package or a backstage interviews rather of Kaiser, and he is talking about how he begins to talk about what Pentagon had to say about him, and Pete Dunne walks up and tells Kaiser to stay out of his business because he is going to handle Pete next week. And Kaiser says okay, and that is that. So we are getting another Pete Dunne and Pentagon match next week. So I hope they continue to keep Pentagon on television consistently. And George Kittle was in the crowd. He was wearing his Pentagon mask, and he was also wearing his Pentagon merch. I know he's Pentagon says that that's his best friend, and I'm very surprised they didn't have Pentagon on the show, being that Kittle was there. But
repping the merch and shit, like, you
yeah,
think you would have that guy there to, capitalize and, like, let me tell you this: if he had a Jey Uso on in shirt, Jey Uso shirt on instead, he would have been a part of Jay's entrance. So where's that care you would give to Jay in a guy like Penta or your other mid card? It's one of those things where I go back to. I used to always have to say this with Vince. You don't really gotta say it nowadays because nothing ain't that bad. But would you treat Roman like that? Always had to use the phrase back then, and now I have to say, like, just in general, would you treat your your world title guys like that, or your main event circle guys like that? You wouldn't, man. So please just be more focused on the mid carders and letting them, or people in the mid card division, I should rather preference it as, but just give those guys and girls just better spotlight and better shine, because you're lacking in that.
definitely. Definitely. That's a great point that you bring up, man. That is a really good point that you bring up. But yeah, so that was that. And next we have the return of the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Goated.
So AJ comes out here. AJ comes out here and he says his heart is about to beat out of his chest. He says 4 months ago he was in this very building with a big smile on his face because this is his stomping grounds. And he was ready to get his career back on track, and then he got injured. He says it was a career-ending injury, and when he got up, he says it was a career-ending injury. But one morning he got up and hobbled his ass to the mirror, and he knew he still had gas in the tank.
Oh yeah.
He says anything that is worth doing is going to be hard. But he is back, and he has a long to-do list. First, he wants to remind the locker room that he is still the phenomenal AJ Styles. I hope one of the things on your to-do list, Mr. Styles, is one more masterclass of a banger with Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect. Because
that feud was incredible back, man.
when I was watching the product in 2016, that Cena and Styles match from SummerSlam 2016 is one of the most underrated master classes of a banger that nobody talks about to this day, and I will sing that match's praises up and down. That was one of the fucking best matches I've ever seen in my life, bro. That was such a good match.
Dude, they gotta run it back with AJ, dude.
Yes. He is, they call him the modern day Shawn Michaels for a reason, because he is really that fucking good.
He is, man.
Dominic comes out, and within the matter of 2 minutes, he gets one sentence out. He tells AJ things have changed. And that took 2 minutes for him to say, because the crowd kept booing him. AJ then says, yeah, things have changed. Where's Rhea? Well, actually, where's Damian at? Oh, and where's Finn? He says, it looks like things have changed around here because all I see is a guy in purple skinny jeans and Rey Mysterio's punk-ass kid. Dominic gets upset. He goes to hit AJ. AJ punches him in the face. Carlito goes to hit AJ. AJ ducks, hits him with a Pele kick, and he throws Carlito out of the ring as Dominic retreats. This was AJ's return segment to Monday Night Raw. I'm excited they switched it up for AJ. I'm excited they got him on a new brand. There's really nothing you could have had him do on SmackDown unless you wanted to have him go at it with like Drew. That would have been better than Damian Priest for WrestleMania. But majority of the people over there he's already feuded with, Nakamura, LA Knight, most of those guys. Have we ever seen a proper AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre storyline? Holy shit.
Dude, we might have back in that like fucking horrible era of WWE that we are like just blocked out of our minds, but nothing I can remember, to be honest.
Me neither. I don't
So
remember.
there might not be.
Well, anyways, I think on Raw, there's a lot better opportunities that you can present him with, being again one here with Dominic, Bronson Reed when he comes back. Three that come to mind. Pentagon, Ilya Dragunov, and Braun Breaker are three guys that stand out to me that I think can, last AJ 9 months worth of feuding right there. So, AJ and Gunther, yes, hit a Rainmaker, yes, the Dragunov, please, everybody jump on board with that. AJ Styles versus Ilya Dragunov will burn shit to the ground, bro. It absolutely will. But I think overall there's more for him to do on Monday Night Raw right now, and I think just better opportunities present that. Unfortunately, Rainmaker, I do think that's where AJ is headed for Mania. I think he's gonna get Logan Paul, which is gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match. Logan Paul's just annoying on a promo, so he can be a hard watch sometimes. Match wise, I love watching him. Promo wise, he's ear bleeding television.
He is, dude. I don't like the character they do. The character they do with Logan, I really don't. But the match would go crazy. But overall, I like AJ on Raw a lot. I think it's really fresh. There's a lot of people that we all would love to see him mix it up with. Obviously, like we said, Dragunov, Braun, Bronson, Penta. You got so many, just a laundry list of people, dude. When he gets back from injury, fucking oh goddamn, I messed up his name. Oh man, he's tag teams with Pete Dunne. I don't know how I forgot his name. Tyler Bate. There you go. I feel so bad I forgot that man's name. Tyler Bate will go crazy. So many matches you could do, man. And you got stories you could tell over there, man. So a lot for AJ on Raw, and I'm glad they brought him back and put him on Raw. I think it's really fresh.
Yes, because SmackDown after the feud with Cody, it almost seemed like there was nothing left for him to do. He had the feud with LA Knight that resulted in 50-50 booking. LA won at Mania. AJ then somehow ended up getting the title shot afterwards. Had, great matches with Cody, and then they just they took him off TV and he came back, and it just seemed like he'd done everything there was to do at that point on SmackDown. And I've been saying I think AJ would look, pun intended, phenomenal with that World Heavyweight Championship. I think he would look great with that title. So, and I think that title fits him. So
it does. It fits him perfectly. Man, they booked him right. Finn and AJ for the man. Why they got to do Finn like the way they do, man? Come on.
I'm asking the same shit, bro.
Fucking A.
Seth freaking Rollins. He comes out through the crowd, similar to the promo that Punk did before the Royal Rumble. I actually like that setting. It's like an in the crowd interview type thing. Yeah. So it's real nice. Rollins comes out. He says he's feeling extra good about his path to Elimination Chamber because all eyes are on the Elimination Chamber and the man who's going to win it. He then proclaims he is the man that is going to win the Elimination Chamber match. Finn Balor comes up. He says all eyes are on Rollins, but it's not because he's going to be winning the Elimination Chamber match. It's because you are falling apart. Seth Rollins says he's done this dance once before with Finn Balor, and he does have unfinished business with CM Punk and loose ends he wants to tie up with Cody Rhodes, and Finn is the only one standing in his way. But after next week, you will not be standing at all. Pretty good, and obviously next week we did get confirmed Balor versus Rollins in a qualifying match for the Chamber, which, yes, Finn Balor, so much for his big 2025 push. Thank you, Rainmaker. He is going to be Pin Balor yet again.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen next week. He's going to get that 1, 2, 3 right on Finn Balor, or Pin Balor, as we all know him as, and that's going to be the result, man. I like the promo that Seth did, obviously. Good Seth promo, and they do have that history on Raw, which is always nice to, reference, but it's going to be another Finn loss. I mean, what else is it going to be?
Yeah, what else is new?
Yep, Finn losing. It's not like that's literally all he does.
AJ Styles is in the back, and he is thanking Adam Pearce for bringing him to Monday Night Raw. Adam Pearce, says congratulations, welcome back, welcome aboard, blah, blah, blah. Adam Pearce walks off, and AJ turns around to the beast of the backstage area, Braun Breaker. Man.
Big ass cowboy hat for some reason.
Cowboy Braun. So much for Cowboy Brock. Now we have Cowboy Braun.
They're really trying to rewrite history now. They're scrambling.
Braun Breaker is faced off with AJ Styles in, where do you guess? The backstage area. Man. Wow.
Braun, man, is backstage, man. That food got to be incredible back there.
I don't know. Is he pulling a 2019 Dean Ambrose? Is he allergic to the audience? I mean, I'm sure it smells like they don't use any deodorant out there, but surely he can. He's able to go out there and do something, but apparently not, because he is backstage Braun, because they do not fucking book this guy other than in a backstage segment. Is he a talent at this point?
I don't know. He might be a backstage interviewer. I don't know.
Is he a WWE official now? I mean, what is going on?
He might be at this point. I wouldn't doubt it.
Braun faces off with AJ. I mean, that's great. Obviously, I want to see this, but can we get the fucking guy out of the backstage area, please? I don't think he's been on television once since Raw has moved to Netflix. And let me refresh your memory. We had a report about in the fall last year that they were going to build Raw on Netflix around Braun Breaker.
Dude, get him in the ring more, on a mic, in the ring more, something. Do one of those crowd interviews, something.
What are you building around? Are you building him to be a backstage interviewer? Are you building him to be a producer? What building are you doing for Braun Breaker other than fucking keeping him in backstage segments on Raw?
It's really frustrating, dude.
He's the IC champion. And again, I just said Triple H used to make his mid-card champ. You would never, ever, ever see a North American champion hibernating in the backstage area back in NXT. You would never see it. No. So why aren't we keeping up that same level of standard here?
Yeah, why aren't we keeping that energy with your main roster fucking mid-card champions? None of them, both of them, all four of them are just backstage, just people. It's insane.
And with all the attention you have and with all the eyeballs you have on Raw, being that it's now on Netflix, how you don't have one of your brightest young guys on the show on a week-to-week basis going viral on a week-to-week basis with some of the shit that he was pulling off? I mean, what the fuck?
Obviously, some people are injured like Bronson, but dude, that whole circle can just go viral for anything. Braun Spear, Penta's anything. Fucking, dude, you have so many people of those guys that they just keep it like just in weird spots, and they're like, these people will go viral. Like, keep these people on TV. You're getting so much eyes with Raw, Netflix. Why are you not showcasing these newer, crazy, interesting, and crazy potential to be viral guys?
Good God.
I don't get it.
War Machine or War Raiders, they faced off against American Made here, and these guys were cooking. These guys were cooking
Yeah.
it up. These guys were having a good match. I was enjoying this match very much so. Very much so. I was enjoying this match, man. I obviously love the Creed brothers, and I will say WWE is very, very lucky
Mm-hmm.
because for as bad as you've booked American Made, these guys actually get really good heel reactions out there, and that makes me happy because WWE
Oh,
did not put them in the position to do that,
to get you. No.
and they're getting them. And you could see it at the Royal Rumble. Ivy Nile was getting, the "you suck" reaction, and the Creed brothers and Ivy were getting it here tonight. And
People like these people.
yes, they like them, and
Okay.
they are very lucky because they have been booked in the position where they should be coming out to no reaction. Yet,
Mm-hmm. They
you
still
got
got to
very
react.
lucky here because they get a ton of reaction here on here on the weekly, man. So you absolutely love to see it though. Um
Oh, 100%, dude. I'm still glad they're still getting a reaction, and the crowd just fucks with these guys, man. And I mean, they're great. It's a phenomenal group, dude. It's a matter of showcase. They're not showcased well by WWE, and that seriously needs to change.
yes, it does. Um the War Raiders have Brutus Creed up for the War Machine, and as Hanson or Ivar, I am just calling them by their old names today, I guess.
You want to
Ivar,
tell
yeah, I don't know, dude. Um
Shit.
Ivar goes up on the springboard and Julius smacks him right in the face with the tag team championship, which disqualifies American Made, giving the War Raiders the victory as they hit Eric with the other tag team championship as the Creed brothers celebrated with the tag team championships. I am glad they held off here because I didn't want the Creeds to take the championships, or I didn't want the War Raiders to lose the championships this soon, and I also didn't want the Creeds to lose this soon. So I like the loss of keeping them strong because the Creeds could very well be heavy, heavy, heavy contenders to eventually take the
Mhm.
tag team championships off of the War Raiders. And I will say, at first, WWE was failing with how they were doing the War Raiders championship reign. We didn't see them very much. These guys are on a bi-weekly consistent basis having matches, and I'm really messing with it because the match with Judgment Day was awesome, and yet again they let them cook here with the Creed brothers. This is how
Mhm.
you do your tag division, and we are slowly, and it's a slow ass burn, but we're
Absolutely.
slowly seeing Triple H start to pick up the pieces and start to realize what the fuck is going on with his tag teams here.
Exactly. We're finally starting to see the tag teams on a regular basis, and on both shows too. There's stories that are being told with this tag team and this tag team, and we see that at least every other week, man. And I like that, and it starts the process of really rebuilding up that tag team division to be special again. And you got all the pieces, and you're starting to put them in the right place. It's just gonna take a little while to build that house, man. But the construction seemed to have started on that house, which is so fucking vitally, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm excited for that. And again, I'm gonna hold them to the consistency standard. We need to see consistency. with this. We absolutely, he needs to keep his foot on the gas pedal with this, and keep hammering that point home, because there's a lot of tag teams that you still have available to use on this show. You could have the War Raiders go up against Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. That would be an amazing match. You could have them go up against a different form of the Judgment Day. Obviously the Creeds is a great tag team on Monday Night Raw. Tyler Bate's about to come back. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus the War Raiders sounds great to me.
Incredible.
There's there, yeah, yeah, and yet again we get robbed of that match. How funny is that?
Good Lord, yet again.
But yeah, so we're off to an okay start, and I just hope he keeps hammering that point home. So yeah,
Definitely. I hope that they gotta keep up that momentum with this, man. They have to.
the Judgment Day backstage, Finn walks in the clubhouse, and he rags on Liv Morgan for not listening to him, and that's why she ended up losing in the match. Dom pitches getting a new member of the Judgment Day to Finn Balor because they've been shorthanded since JD McDonough went out. Finn says to Dominic, well, why did he get injured in the first place, Dominic? Then Liv gets up and pitches to Finn as well. I think we should get a new member. Finn shoots it down. He says they don't need any new members because I'm going to get us back on track when I qualify and win the Elimination Chamber match. Good Lord, can we please get him out of this group? And I honestly think at this point, they are dragging this out till an after Mania thing.
I think they are, dude, which is such a dumb idea. You might as well just get it started now, but, Triple H, everything's got to be built at least for a couple months, dude, so don't know why they're taking so long with it, but they are, and this is just the same old thing's gonna continue. Finn's gonna try to do this and fail. He's gonna get mad at them. It's so repetitive and annoying, and it just, dude, it's not doing nothing for nobody. Just end it, please.
Yeah, I mean, man, I appreciate your emphasis on storyline, man, but I mean, this dude is drowning in a pool of no momentum, and I don't know. I mean, maybe they're gonna try to do like a Summer of Balor type thing where he does really good over the summer, or something along those lines, man. But I mean, I would have done this, sometime in the beginning of the year, and I would have brought him back after WrestleMania as a new singles Finn, because I think just with how much momentum he's lost, I honestly think the best way of going about that whole thing would be to keep him off of TV for a little bit, at least a month or two, just to build hype and anticipation around him coming back again. But I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do, man, but in the end, I just really hope Finn Balor, comes out of it okay. So yeah,
I really hope it does.
yeah. So Io is backstage. Rhea walks up to Io Sky and she says that she just talked to Adam Pearce, and you got a match for the Women's World Championship, and I'm not doing this because I had to do it. I'm doing this because I want to. It's going to be on the Raw after the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be you and me for the Women's World Championship. Io says, I'll see you then.
Maybe whoever the fuck wins that chamber, maybe they cost her in that title match and we get some sort of triple threat. That's the only way out of this I can see.
Maybe. I just am praying that Liv Morgan does not win that Elimination Chamber.
I really don't want it to be Liv. It was good when we got it, and then we got too much of it. and I do not want to see that continued with Liv
Yeah, I
and
mean
Rhea.
that is completely ran its course. I could see
Mm,
that. I could see maybe
I
them
could.
going a triple threat direction for the women's world title at Mania. Um,
They're obviously not doing it for the world title with Gunther anymore, so
right.
they do got the opportunity to do it with the women. But like, dude, you had the easy layup, dude. Rhea
Easiest
and
layup
Io,
ever.
dude. Oh man,
Unless
they're
unless they're gonna go ahead and do the Bianca match, but why would I would think the Raw after the Chamber is where Rhea confronts her opponent. Why would you have her have a
yeah,
title match then? I would have had Rhea and Io on Chamber,
yeah.
right?
And then you would think that's. Don't know, dude. I do not understand what they're doing with Mania this year.
I'll tell you what, that Elimination Chamber review is going to be a must watch for you guys because that is going
It
to
is.
be discussion paradise. Um,
It is. It's gonna be the most fucking just think piece shit ever, dude. We're just gonna be sitting here thinking and just
yes,
speculating that whole fucking review. I
that
already
is,
know it.
that is going to be a very thorough WrestleMania discussion. So that is going to be a must watch for you guys, and obviously we'll be live after the show. If you guys didn't know, but CM Punk. CM Punk comes out here for a promo. He does his shtick. Isn't it great to be alive? Blah, blah, blah. He says he is disappointed because he thought with all the confidence, he thought with all his confidence, he was going to win the Royal Rumble. But he's not mad at Jey because he likes seeing his peers accomplish their goals. He says Jey is going after Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship. And I told Cody a couple weeks ago I was not going to stab him in the back. I was going to stab him in the front. And now I have to. So he says, two of us have qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, well, there's three of us in the match. But one of the guys decided he was going to just tell the world that he's in the Elimination Chamber match. He says at one point he was mad, but John Cena is a legend and he deserves to call his own shot. But that is not going to change the fact that he is going to see him in that match and he's going to beat the crap out of him in the Elimination Chamber. The other one who qualified is that piece of garbage, Drew McIntyre. He says he beat him at Hell in a Cell, and that made you run to the other show. So, if that's what I did to you in Hell in a Cell, what do you think I'm going to do to you in the Elimination Chamber? He says he's never been more confident by saying that he is going to win this match because WrestleMania belongs to one man, 3 syllables, CM Punk. Logan fucking Paul comes out. This was one of my favorite parts about the show. He comes out, and Logan Paul's theme song before this was nothing special, but, it was all right. It had the little, like Maverick sound, had that, like, bird sound in the beginning of the song. This man comes out to some new theme song, and it's just generic rap, and all you could make out is, I'm still humble. I'm still humble. Dude, that shit was so ass. And hold on, and Michael Cole goes, I don't even know whose music that is. Pat McAfee says, that seems to be a recurring theme around here. L-O-fucking-L.
Dude, you got a commentary ribbon on, dude.
Whose music is that?
That contract gotta be coming up soon, man. That's their ribbon on it, dude, because that's just crazy work.
That is absolutely hilarious. Logan Paul comes out here. He says, I see why they call you a punk. But I could come up with a bunch of names to call you, but I can't say them on TV.
What are you gonna go? Oh shit. Girl's about to act like it's a Call of Duty lobby. You goddamn.
Dog. I think one of my fucking 3 dogs can come up with better promo material than that. I see why they call you a punk. How long did it take you to come up with that master class of a line?
That is the most. You could tell that motherfucker was like a fucking family-friendly YouTuber at one point. My God, what are these promos, man?
So, he says he would call him a bunch of names, but he can't say them on television. This is actually good promo material. The next part I actually like. This caught me so off guard that I was hearing Logan Paul say this. He says, you know, man, you made fun of Kevin Owens for losing to me last year, yet 24 hours after you said that to Owens, I dumped you over the top rope in the Rumble. All right. It's a great point.
Solid, normal promo.
He says that was the best 15 minutes of fame in your career. Yeah, all right.
I think he's had way better 15 minutes, man.
I think so.
Shit.
He tells CM Punk he has his number, but unfortunately tonight is Rey Mysterio's night to get his 15 minutes of fame. I swear to God, dude, CM Punk is laughing. He's laughing at Logan Paul. He keeps turning his head away from the camera, not to break character, because you could just tell CM Punk does not think Logan Paul is a believable guy whatsoever, and it's the funniest thing in the world.
It's the most unbelievable shit ever, and that man Punk knows it. That is just sad, dude.
So, Punk says, the way they're booing you, you would think Dominic Mysterio said something. He says, I would have mentioned you earlier about the Elimination Chamber, but I honestly forgot you were in a match, as he's laughing. He says, don't worry about me, man, because tonight the number you pulled is 619. Rey Mysterio comes out. Him and Logan Paul have, I would say, a pretty good match. Again, Logan in the ring, not a problem with him. Yeah. On the mic, insufferable, annoying television. And it's I know damn well there's people in that performance center that train with promos. And
that class.
He needs to not only work on his delivery, but his material needs to be worked on as well. Yeah, it's insufferable, man. It's very bad.
Oh, it really is, dude. It's just so just nails on a chalkboard, just cringy, man.
So, Logan and Rey, like I said, they had a very good match. Rey Mysterio goes for a splash on Logan. Logan gets the knees up. He then hits him with what Pat McAfee called the pulverizer. It's Logan Paul basically flips Rey in like a backflip position, and then on his way down hits him with a DDT. Actually a very cool move. And I like that a lot better than his basically the Big Show's WMD, his knockout punch. Or his I can't remember what Logan's version is called, like the titanium fist or something they call it.
Yeah, he has fucking titanium in his fist or some shit.
Yeah, it's
okay.
I love the new finisher a lot more, and it fits him, man. It fits him, and he nailed it. He nailed it. So I like that. And Logan had a great match here with Rey. Logan advances on to the Elimination Chamber, and that is that. So while Logan is on the outside, he looks back up at Rey, and the next thing we hear is, oh my God, the New Day is attacking Rey Mysterio. As the fucking feed just cuts as the New Day go to attack Rey Mysterio at the end of the show.
Like, dude, out of all the things you could save that type of shit for, with the freedom you have to just, randomly cut things off, have something happen. That's what you choose to do with it? A random New Day Mysterio attack to do the cutoff shit with? Alright, I guess that was your testing grounds for it, I'm sure, and what a fucking way to test it out.
The show ended at like 9:28, meanwhile, there's been weeks where they've kept it on till like 9:32,
Yeah.
9:35. Why you couldn't have just let the New Day at least just hit a couple moves and then just, play into how dastardly they are and then fade away? Or all right, that's fine, but what the fuck was that, dude? I mean, what just cut their feed in the middle of the fucking in the middle of in the beginning of the attack? I mean, what is that?
Fucking New Day are great heels, man, but that's not a fucking cliffhanger for your show.
Yeah.
They just
what? Yeah, I mean, what is he? What was that? I mean, like what? I don't know. That was a odd choice.
That's what you could save some Sammy and KO shit for, not fucking East. Like what? That was something.
It definitely was something, bro. But yeah. I don't know what that was about, man. I don't know what that was about at all. But that was basically everything here today on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I thought the feed thing was an interesting choice of time to cut the feed in the beginning of the post-match attack. But your field is set right now with Punk, Cena, Logan, McIntyre. I'm sure we're adding Rollins to that. Yep. Who the fifth man is? Probably Damian Priest. So it looks like your field is going to be Rollins, Paul, Cena, Punk, Drew, Damian. So it's a good field, and Damian Priest.
You got one carry job in there.
Yeah, it's a great field and Damian Priest, but I mean the chamber match I'm sure should be fine. And like I said, I cannot wait to get on here after Elimination Chamber, because once we start to know and settle this in as to who's getting who at Mania, we're in line for a great discussions. And we want to hear your guys' opinions. We want to know what you guys think. We want to know what you guys would do for Mania, and it's going to be very interesting because they are taking a interesting fucking route to WrestleMania this year.
Oh, very fucking interesting route for WrestleMania. So I'm very intrigued to see how they do this, man. I can't wait to talk about it on that post show, man, because fucking hell, I have no clue what they're doing.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. But yeah, that is everything. That is everything for today, man. And that is everything we got for this episode 234 of NHP Unscripted, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. Like I said, this has been episode 234. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And yeah, man, that is it. And it has been always, always, always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it. Thank you guys, everybody here in the live chat, or my guys a part of the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. Thank you guys as always. Thank you to everybody. Lonnie, Logan, Fernando, Rainmaker, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of Unscripted. Thank you for hanging out with us on this night, man. And with all that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Friday with the news and AEW Grand Slam Australia predictions.
Peace.